Philadelphia Eagles trying to nail their third straight NFC East.
You never second-guess yourself.
Let's do it, man. We way better than this.
Donovan has had a lot of adverse situations.
He's been through a few this season.
McNabb threw that one up for grabs.
It was frustrating.
He didn't let the things that happened early on shake him.
I let the critics talk.
We have a lot at stake.
Where do the Eagles go from here?
Got some fickle fans out here now.
I know he's going to fight.
He's resilient.
I just play football.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. What a throw by McNabb.
He is a playmaker.
That is a play that only McNabb can make.
I got your back. Don't worry about it.
He's having fun with the game.
Touchdown.
That's when the leaders step into place.
We good.
Exciting guy to watch.
Donovan McNabb.
We have a lot to shoot for.
Just go out and play well.
The way that we go as a team is the way that Big Five plays. And whatever he got, I know he's going to give it to him.
The Eagles take the field seeking their third straight NFC East title in their final regular season game against the Redskins. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. Here's what's on the line for the Eagles tonight. A win, they clinch the division and get a first-round bye, and they're still alive for home field advantage throughout the playoffs if the Rams should stumble tomorrow. That's not bad for a team that started 0-2, both losses at home, and has had to fight through massive injuries on defense. The Redskins were supposed to be better. Instead, they're worse. There weren't many bright spots this year, Joe, except they did find a really good backup quarterback in Tim Hasselbeck.
And Mikey's done a very good job, but take into consideration tonight's game. Tim Hasselbeck spent a couple of stints with the Philadelphia Eagles as a scout team quarterback. He certainly knows Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator's defense. Fact is, he hasn't got to get it in live time, and that's going to be a challenge for him tonight. For the Skins to have a chance, Hasselbeck's going to have to throw the football effectively. As far as Donovan McNabb goes, here's a guy who played horribly the first 6 games. The last 9, he's been a true Pro Bowler. And the thing about Donovan McNabb is he can hurt you throwing the football. Oh, yeah, he throws the ball around very, very well. But the thing that the Redskins have to be very careful of tonight is they've got to have to contain him running with the football. That's where he can make a difference in this game.
And one of the guys who's going to be responsible for that is Pro Bowl linebacker LeVar Arrington, who last night signed a contract extension that makes him wealthier than most Eastern European countries, Paul.
Well, you got that right, Michael. But to be a great player in this game, you have to have a passion for it. And LeVar Arrington has that passion. He plays every single down as if it's his last game. He told us yesterday, if they're going to come at me, they better bring 3 people. And if you're going to go away from me, you've got to bring at least 2. Andy Reid came into the meeting last night and he brought his game board. Right next to Donovan McNabb's name was number 56, LeVar Arrington. Locate him, know where he is at all times. And when we asked Donovan about LeVar Arrington, he says, I'd love to play against this guy. You know why? Because he brings it on every single down.
He's resilient.
I just play football.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. What a throw by McNabb.
He is a playmaker.
That is a play that only McNabb can make.
I got your back. Don't worry about it.
He's having fun with the game.
Touchdown.
Welcome to HP Digital Photography. HP, invent.
I think my mom and dad are gonna live to be 200. And they're very special people in my world. Not having parents would be hard, 'cause you would be stinky, 'cause you wouldn't have a bath.
Are You up for a challenge? Then log on to ESPN.com, keyword Porsche, and take the Porsche Performance Challenge. You could win a trip to Houston to celebrate the big game and have lunch with a football legend. Welcome back to FedEx Field for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. Visa presents ESPN SkyCam, innovative technology on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Visa SkyCam provides some of the most unique and memorable images ever seen from angles no other single camera in the world can achieve. And we're excited to bring it to you on all of our NFL telecasts. The Eagles have the number 8 rushing offense in the National Football League, but they don't have a star running back. Instead, they have a 3-headed monster. With more, here's Susie Colbert.
Mike, you're right. The Eagles have taken running back by committee to a whole new level. And as Andy Reid told us last night, it was Duce Staley who opened up the can of worms with his holdout this past summer. By the time he got back, the other 2 running backs were already in full swing. So now Duce calls young Brian Westbrook the little man with the big heart. He leads them in rushing TDs. Correll Buckhalter leads them in rushing TDs. And Duce, he brings it all together. Running backs like their reps and rhythm. He provides the leadership to make it all work.
We're kind of in a rhythm now because we know what to expect. So we know once we go out there, okay, we got to let it go. These 1 or 2 plays because you never know when you're going to come back. And I think the coaches really feed off that. I think that the coaches see that we get along. I think the coaches see that, you know, it's nothing negative between all of us, and we go out there, we have fun. We make plays. You know, if it's Brian, myself, or Correll scoring a touchdown, like I said, the other 2 guys are the first 2 down there, you know, high five or whatever, and just make sure he knows that we're there for, you know, to support him.
They love to talk about how they're all friends, but also very competitive. As fullback John Ritchie says, he believes they're all stars, stars willing to share the same galaxy.
The stock market has changed, and this time we're going to change with it.
Well, I'm doing more homework now, and I need information I can trust.
And that's why we developed Schwab Equity Ratings.
I don't want to make the same mistakes I made in the past.
Schwab Equity Ratings are fact-based evaluations of a stock's potential performance.
I want a better way to find quality stocks.
Call 1-888-8-SCHWAB to get your 3 free Schwab Equity Ratings on stocks of your choice and to find out how you can get up to 25 commission-free trades. Get a clear perspective on your investment decisions.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
We're in Landover, Maryland at FedEx Field. The Eagles trying to clinch the NFC East against one of their arch rivals, the Washington Redskins, and rumors swirling around second-year head coach Steve Spurrier, 12-19. One of the reports by our own Chris Mortensen today had Spurrier resigning tomorrow and perhaps taking the head coaching job, which is still occupied by Dave Wannstedt of the Miami Dolphins.
Michael, I had a long conversation with Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Redskins, before the ball game tonight, and I will bring you up to date on his stance and what he believes will happen to his coach. And it may not be what was reported.
One of those suspense deals.
I'm going to keep you around at least for a little while.
We're going to get you. We're right after
Stay tuned, Paul. We'll be back.
Chad Morton is deep with Patrick Johnson as Washington will get the ball first. The Eagles have done a magnificent job fighting through all those injuries, and Andy Reid in the NFC almost mirroring what Bill Belichick has done in the AFC this year. He's kept his team together. Akers blasts it over the head of Morton and 9.5 yards deep in the end zone. The Skins offensive line was upgraded this year with the addition of Randy Thomas. He shored up the interior at right guard. Lavernius Coles has been worth everything Washington gave him as a free agent. He's had 76 catches, the most for a Redskin wide receiver in 14 years. Tim Hasselbeck playing for the injured Patrick Ramsey, and aside from one really bad game against Dallas, has shown a lot of poise and a lot of touch.
The Eagles were offside on the kickoff. You believe that? You kick the ball into the end zone, and they're out. Now they got to kick it again from the 25.
You know, the thing about Akers is he has that ability. Hasn't it happened so often when you get a penalty like this, all of a sudden Chad Morton now gets a chance to field it, and percentages are something good should happen for the Redskins?
You know what? You were talking about all the injuries on the Eagles. The last month, have we done any teams that were healthy?
No. The Giants probably the worst.
Oh,
you know, but they have an entire starting defensive line that would be pretty good on IR.
Exactly.
At the beginning of the year, 3/4 of their secondary, the Eagles didn't have them playing.
Including Bobby Taylor and Brian Dawkins, former Pro Bowlers. You lose those guys, and you just wonder how they've been able to come back and win like they have.
And they're short tonight, Troy Vincent.
Another former Pro Bowler, and a current Pro Bowler, in fact. So Akers will not have to go back to the 25. He's still capable of knocking it into the end zone, but Morton, who has one touchdown return of 94 yards this year, probably will get a crack at this one. And we are underway again from FedEx Field. Shorter this time, and Morton will have a chance from the 4. Chad Morton stops short of the 25-yard line. The Eagles' defensive line, beset by injuries, has got an outstanding job from Corey Simon, his 6.5 sacks, number 2 for defensive tackles in the NFL. Mark Semino, undersized for a middle linebacker, but his speed and toughness have made him Philly's leading tackler. And Brian Dawkins may be the best safety in the game. A foot injury cost him 10 starts. He has all the tools and is a wicked hitter. Johnson and Cartwright are the running backs. Hasselbeck quickly out in the flat and has it complete to backup tight end Kevin Ware. Let me correct something on Chris Mortenson's report earlier. He did not talk about the possibility he would be going to the Miami Dolphins. It was just about the resignation, perhaps, of Steve Spurrier tomorrow. So I didn't want to put Mort on the hook for that.
Put him on the hook, he can handle it.
Hey, Mort's a big boy. He does a great job.
Doesn't he ever? 2nd and 7 for the Redskins. Hasselbeck has the backs in the eye, and Cartwright, the little fullback, crosses the 31.
Joe, one of the things that we talked about yesterday in our meeting that we're going to see from the Redskins is the ball out of Hasselbeck's hands in a hurry.
Has to be. I think with the pressure defense that Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles brings, he has to do that. And Mike, you made a great statement there. You talk about Rock Cartwright, the little running back. He's the only real running back. He's a backup fullback that is their featured running back, which is one of the problems for the Redskins this year.
Trung candidate is hurt. Liddell Betts is hurt. They go with 4 wide receivers, and Morton comes into the backfield. Straight 4-man rush against Hasselbeck, and he throws complete to Thrash. Or check it. I was thinking Thrash is Lavernius Cole's number 80 in red because Thrash used to wear that number as a Redskin.
What a catch, though. Lavernius Coles, when Lavernius Coles gets his hands on the football, good things happen to the Redskins. Watch this catch. Ike Reese is trying to stay with him. Up top, up high, goes and gets it. Now, there's a guy that doesn't practice all week because of a fracture in his foot.
Cartwright comes back in, and they have 2 tight ends as Chamberlain in motion. First down, Skins, and Hasselbeck wants to throw on first down. Over the middle, incomplete. Again, intended for Coles. The Eagles playing tonight without the guy that's played so well for them in linebacker, Carlos Emmons, who fractured a fibula a week ago, and Ike Reese, who is a special team star, is playing his linebacker spot.
But what they do have with Reese is they have experience. He's a great special teamer, but he's been around a while, and he knows the linebacker slot.
But he's used to only playing about 30 snaps a game. Now he's going to have to play probably 80 or 90.
Darnarian McCants comes in as a 3rd wide receiver on 2nd and 10. 4-man rush. Hasselbeck with good protection. Goes underneath to Coles. Nice move to get free. Gets a block downfield from Cartwright and picks up additional yardage. 14 yards on the play.
You know, the problem here is Semino, the middle linebacker, number 53. He sees Lavernius Coles sit. You see him sitting behind him? He makes a late break on the ball, and when he makes that break, Lavernius Coles makes a move. Watch the quick move back to the outside. Bang! There's Semino on the ground. He's got to get up into that slot faster.
Redskins moving it well on the opening drive of the ball game. Cartwright Gets a couple. Let's check in with Susie.
And just to appreciate what Lavernius Coles is doing, he's doing this with a fracture behind his big toe, and talking to him before the game, as Joe said, he's not able to practice except on Friday. He makes it work so he and Tim can work on that timing. And he said Tim's just been so great. He comes in and doesn't miss a beat. Now, Tim says of Lavernius that he's the most enjoyable guy to play with. You can always count on him, but he does play at a different speed than anybody else. So that timing is so important.
And he'll have to have surgery on that foot after the year, Susie. John Simon is the only man in the backfield right now. And Hasselbeck goes back to throw again. Dumps it underneath. And Simon makes his third catch of the year. Nate Wayne makes the tackle. Tim Hasselbeck is one of those guys, and we've had so many this year, who was so unheralded coming out of college, an undrafted free agent from Boston College, had to go to NFL Europe, spend time on practice squads for 2 ball clubs, signs with the Redskins halfway through the season, and is now making his 5th career start. We had him in his first career start only 3 weeks after he had signed with the ball club, and he did very well, threw the ball just like he is right now. Blitz finally coming, and Hasselbeck unloads, incomplete contact. McCants wants a flag. He was covered by Lito Shepherd and no penalty.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looked like Lito Shepherd had a shirt.
But Darren McCants does a good job. He really tries to slow down and almost entice the interference, and that's what got Steve Spurrier upset.
No.
See, he slows down. He slows down to try and get contact. The guy who was great at that was Chris Carter. Chris Carter used to slow down enough so that guys would push him around. McCants doesn't quite have the rep, so he doesn't get the call. But actually, I think it was a good no call.
It was. Lito Shepherd did not grab it.
John Hall, who has a long of 54 this year, will try this one from 52. Short. So the Redskins move the ball impressively, but come up empty on the opening drive. The Eagles and Donovan McNabb will get their shot when we come back. Who's about to ride?
GMC Sierra Extended Cab with more standard V8 horsepower than the new Ford F-150. Try as they might, they still can't catch us. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. Sierra is the only full-size pickup available with OnStar.
Hey, Donovan! Surprise!
It's not my yard.
Oops. If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa. Hey, you! Proud sponsor of the NFL.
Hi, I'm Kevin Frazier. Join me as I count down the ESPN 100. Everyone and everything that mattered most in sports in 2003.
I'm innocent.
Once again, it's another save.
ESPN 100, Monday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
The old ball coach on the sideline, it was funny. He says, you know, there are rumors going around about me leaving for Miami. You usually don't hear that from a guy who's 5-10. It's supposed to be 10-5 when they talk about you going somewhere else.
He's not leaving. He's going to be the coach of the Redskins next year.
Well, Daniel Snyder says he wants him back. He says he wants to stay. We'll see. And on the opening play, Westbrook gets the carry and goes nowhere. The Eagles have a good offensive line. Former Pro Bowler John Runyon, a fixture at right tackle. Between the Titans and Eagles, he's starting his 112th straight. The receivers have not produced big numbers. James Thrash has the most catches, 47, the most yards, 550. And Donovan McNabb voted to his 4th Pro Bowl this year. After a horrible start, he has regained his Pro Bowl form in the last 8 weeks. Buckhalter, one of the heads of the three-headed monster, is in the tailback. And McNabb, play action. Throws on the run. Pinkston across the 40, out of bounds at the 35.
You're going to see this all night, folks. You're going to see a great throw on the run. And look where the ball is thrown to Pinkston. Here's the play action. McNabb comes out the outside. There really is no one there. He's got a blocker in front of him. Now he throws. Look where this pass is. Down and away. Pinkston just has to go down and catch. I mean, doesn't he really have to bend down?
And he seems to throw the ball so much better with that thumb heel. 56% completion. Remember, the first 6 weeks he was at 47%.
And had the lowest passer rating in the NFL. It was amazing for him. Now here goes McNabb throwing on the run again, and Staley dives and can't get it at the 22. He was open and McNabb couldn't get it to him.
What unbelievable presence. Donovan McNabb wants to go up top. Andy Reid, not the most patient play caller. Play action fake. He wants to go up top, doesn't have it. Now look at him buy time with his legs. But yet he keeps the vision where everyone is and throws the ball just a little bit short to Duce Staley. When he rolls to his right, he doesn't want to run. When Donovan McNabb is flush to his right, he wants to throw the football. The Redskins know that. But knowing something and stopping it are two different things.
Did you notice the wide shot of Duce Staley? There wasn't anybody within 15 yards. They go to the ground this time with Buckhalter. He stopped by Holsey. Redskins defensive line has struggled. Holsey leads the group up front in tackles with 40. But that's just 8th on the team. LeVar Arrington, a Pro Bowler for the 3rd straight season, only yesterday signed a contract extension worth $68 million. Champ Bailey will be going to his 4th Pro Bowl after battling through injuries all year. His latest, a concussion last week.
Got his face stepped on in the Bear game.
3rd and 8. Staley is the running back. Blitz coming. McNabb throws back across the middle. Westbrook inside the 15, first down, a gain of 17 yards.
I'll tell you, this is all McNabb, but Westbrook comes in motion. Duce Staley is the lone running back. Westbrook comes in motion, number 36, and then he comes back underneath. You'll see the motion there. Westbrook's to the right of your screen. He's going to come back underneath, and when he does, Donovan McNabb finds him right there.
And you see Jesse Armstead, number 98, or Jesse Armstead is the spy, and the spy is the individual that is assigned to a mobile quarterback to try and dissuade him from running. I think you ought to let Donovan run, because he's been completing a lot of passes moving around.
Armstead a gun. If you're going to be a spy, you got to have a gun.
Staley was open in the flat, still open, and finally McNabb goes to him. And Duce battles his way inside the 5 near another first down. Champ Bailey made the tackle.
One of the things that Andy Reid likes to do and takes a lot of pride in is moving the ball around. 7 players with 20 receptions plus, which ties the Colts, who we know moves the ball around with Peyton Manning. This is one of the statistics. As a matter of fact, it is the single statistic that Andy Reid likes to check after a game is over. How many receivers have touched the football? How many guys have had a chance to make plays with the ball?
Buckhalter will be the running back, and John Ritchie comes in as the fullback. On 1st and goal, little swing, Buckhalter. Bailey is out there, gain of a yard.
What I like about these 3 guys in the backfield, you know, you say, all right, they're all different. Really not. One thing that they do have is that quick burst when they first catch the football. They're always heading upfield towards the goal line. And if you look at each one of these guys, no matter how big or how small they are, they have that one initial step that gets them moving.
And this is the 4th straight play that they have brought in a different running back. They start the rotation with Duce. Now he's back in. And pretty good in the red zone.
Quick play, they throw it for the touchdown. There was no Redskin in the vicinity, and Lewis was wide open as the tight end split out.
Boy, are you kidding? This awareness by the quarterback. I'll tell you what, unbelievable.
This is what happens when you go real quick. There he is out there. Donovan just stands up and fires the ball outside. No Redskin in sight. There he is, tight end, Chad Lewis. Boom, touchdown.
You could see 2 of the Redskins, a linebacker and a defensive back, turning around talking to each other about, hey, isn't somebody supposed to be out on that guy? Somebody was supposed to be.
Well, it was LeVar Arrington and Champ Bailey. Those two guys, one of them made a mistake.
And while they were chatting, Chad Lewis was stepping into the end zone with the football. McNabb, 5 out of 6 on the drive, and the Eagles quickly on top, 7-0.
Now,
I can handle this.
when mom's away, Dad will play.
Heads up!
Little less risk, Mike.
Got it.
Guys, meet the family.
What's up, boys?
Steve Martin,
So, Dylan, know any good restaurants?
cheaper by the dozen. Rated PG. Now playing only in theaters.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? A Pioneer plasma display can deliver more than 1 billion colors, taking high-definition television to a whole new level. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
Time's running out in the year 2003. So in this edition of DirecTV Customer News, we're going to show you how to save time during the busy holiday season.
With instant, non-stop holiday music for your next party.
And details on how DirecTV helps you avoid the mad rush at the mall.
All this plus free concerts and a special interview with one of the stars of X-Men 2.
It's all on DirecTV Customer News, playing around the clock all month on Channel 201. See you there.
This ESPN NFL special brought to you by Microsoft. Your potential, our passion.
One of the most beautiful cities in the world, the United States Capitol, at the end of Pennsylvania Avenue. Just Constitution ends up down there, and North Capitol Street. It's
What a
just
great
staggering.
city this is. What a great city.
Beautiful.
Been a great place to play football. A lot of people out for a team that's 5-10. Terrific support in this city.
Yeah, but they're not real happy right now.
No.
Redskins had 11 guys covering 10.
Let me tell you something. If you're going to leave guys wide open, it's fixing to get real bad.
Yep.
I mean, you've got to at least put somebody out there on it. And Coach Spurrier is probably as baffled as anybody, but he has to be somewhat pleased with the way his offense started.
Akers kicking to Morton from the 3. Morton stumbles across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Got 7:02 to go first quarter. Eagles trying to clinch the division, up by a touchdown.
John Lynch and his mom brought Chuck Flynn new Campbell's Chunky Grilled Chicken and Sausage Gumbo. It filled him up right.
I mean, what else? What else should he be doing?
Sure beats another frozen dinner. Chuck ate heartily. Later, his buddies ate their hearts out.
I would have gone vanilla with that sweater.
Ice cream, $3.
I think I would have parked a little closer.
Gas, $22.
Whoa. I think...
Haircut, $30.
What? I would have looked out for the water main. But that's just me.
Monday morning quarterbacks, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I would have double bagged it.
Where will you be when your diarrhea comes back? You should have taken Imodium AD the first time. Don't wait till it's too late.
Tuesday, 10/9 Central.
Roy is working deep cover. It is our job to watch his back.
The man with the most to lose.
Do I know you?
Is the man who works both sides of the law. A new Line of Fire, ABC Tuesday, 10/9 Central. Viewer discretion is advised.
Eagles on top of the Redskins early, 7-0. Washington will have a 1st and 10 from its own 26.
The Redskins have to be somewhat pleased with their first offensive drive. They managed to move down and at least get a field goal attempt.
Hasselbeck with a 4-man rush. Has time, throws underneath the Cartwright, and he's horse-collared by Bobby Taylor.
On that touchdown pass by Donovan McNabb, you see LeVar Arrington, number 56, he's pointing to Andre Lott behind him, and that's Chad Lewis, the tight end, split out to the right. Now, Donovan McNabb recognizes the confusion, quick snaps it, throws the ball out, it's a touchdown. Obviously, the Redskins were expecting to try and identify players, but Chad Lewis never split out. He just went outside wide.
LeVar did. There's one out there by himself. Somebody identified him.
No matter what the defense was, that was just too easy. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Hasselbeck throws incomplete. Intended for Coles, and Lito Shepherd at inside position.
Lito Shepherd has really been somewhat toasted a little bit because as a rookie last year, #1 pick, there were great expectations. Troy Vincent has been hurt. Bobby Taylor has been hurt. And he's had to play a lot of football. Last week, he had a couple of plays. He had a lot of good ones and a couple of very obvious ones that were a little bit of a problem. Andy Reid likes his young corner. And as a matter of fact, I mean, you've got Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent. You talk about guys possibly moving on. There's talk that they may wind up not being with the Eagles next year.
The Eagles are not an organization that will pay for past performance. They pay for the future. And there may not be much of a future in an Eagles uniform for those two guys. This one's tipped in the air. It was going to be a flanker screen intended for Patrick Johnson.
Bobby Taylor, number 21, may have been the guy that got it. And he is a corner blitzing. Number 21 is Bobby Taylor. Look at him slide inside, time it up in the air. Just a sensational play by a corner that is all pro.
That's the thing you cannot do with Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles. You cannot get yourself in 3rd and 10s and 3rd and 11s and 3rd and long, anything.
Barker to punt to Westbrook. Second in the NFL in punt return. Driven all the way back inside the 20, lets it go, and it rolls inside the 5, down by the Redskins, and that's Patrick Johnson who hustles down on special teams. And what a kick. That's 70 yards for Barker.
Who's Chad Brown? He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. So you got to ask yourself, what's it like getting hit by a stick of dynamite?
Stop playing, Chad. Come on, Don.
We managed to gather evidence of a mutant training facility.
Nobody really knows how many even exist, or how to find them, except you.
Now is the time for those who are different to stand united. X2 X-Men United, plus a behind-the-scenes special.
Tune to the 100s and order it with your remote on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Imagine having it all. The Total Choice Premier package from DirecTV delivers over 195 channels of our best programming, including all of our premium services, HBO, Stars, Showtime, Cinemax, and Sports Pack. Get more movies, more sports, and the maximum entertainment variety with Total Choice Premier. Call 1-800-DIRECTV and order today.
The DirecTV Preview Series presents what some consider to be the hottest band in the world today, Pearl Jam. This preview concert was captured live from Madison Square Garden, and now you have a front row seat to experience how this incredible band was meant to be seen. Pearl Jam, every day in December on Channel 103. Pick up their new CD and DVD today.
Eagles by a touchdown, and they just got a big play out of their special team.
Well, Michael Westbrook, if he catches this ball, if he gets back and catches it, he'd catch it probably on the 15. Now, as you look, there's Patrick Johnson as he moves up to try and block him. He probably would have wound up running that ball to the 30 or 35-yard line. He really gave up about 30, 35 yards of field position by just not fielding the punt.
That 70-yarder, the second longest of Barker's 14-year career. McNabb wants to throw out of the end zone. A lot of time, throws incomplete, intended for Pinkston. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, I talked to Bruce Smith before the game, and I asked him what he was feeling. And he said, it's hard to put into words what I'm feeling. This is almost surreal. He said, it's rare that I'm speechless, but I am tonight. And he said, I can't believe this is my last game. Now, Bruce hasn't said publicly that he's retiring, but I think we can take that as a retirement speech. What an unbelievable career. He leads the league in sacks with 200. He said that's a lot better than 199, which sounds like something you'd pick up at a discount store.
And the Eagles go with Buckhalter up the middle. He gets out to the 11-yard line. Of course, he's got 200 sacks, the career leader past Reggie White a couple of weeks ago. It was an official stat only since 1982. There are guys like Deacon Jones who will say, look, I had more than that in a couple of years, but this is the official stat, and as a defensive player, he is third on the all-time list in games played.
I got to not see him next year to believe that he's going to retire.
He told me he was going to retire. He told me Friday.
Wait. Just wait.
3rd and 3. McNabb, little swing. Staley. 3 Redskins wait for him, and Staley fights his way through up to the 17. Jeremiah Trotter finally made the stop.
That's the thing about Duce Staley. This was obviously a 3-on-1 mismatch. The Redskins should have had the advantage. Duce Staley needs 4 yards for the first down. He puts a move and winds up front. You see him, Todd Franz, trying to make the play. Duce does a nice job. Champ's got the outside. Trotter has to come over and bring him down.
Franz is in there for Oolete, who was put on injured reserve with a knee and ankle injury. Big first down, and now Westbrook will get a carry. Nice hole off the left side. Westbrook across the 30. Fred Smoot helped take them out of bounds near the 45, but there's the flag down.
They're going to call holding against Philadelphia. Boy, this was an outstanding run by Westbrook, and there's a reason why this happens. Because at the hole, at the point of attack.
Offense, number 63. 10-yard play, first down.
They got Hank Fraley, who is the center, on holding. He is the center. Now watch the center coming out. They call this right. Watch this here. Here's the point of attack. And that's where they call holding. But actually, he gets knocked back in by Ritchie. They knock back Jeremiah Trotter right into him.
But I think he gets that left arm around the old horse collar. I'll bring you down. Hopefully the ref don't see it move.
Wipes out a 26-yard gain and makes it 1st and 18.
The old ref don't see it move?
Yeah. McNabb. Pinkston, what a catch! Snatched it out of the sky at the 49 in front of Smoot.
I promise you, this is a result of Donovan McNabb having Todd Pinkston spend time with him in the offseason in Arizona to get to know him better. He is not open. Todd Pinkston is not open. Fred Smoot is trailing him, and Todd Franz, and look at him go up and make the play.
But he throws this ball, it almost looks like it's short. But this was all Pinkston going up in the air. Smoot didn't have a chance. What a great throw.
Donovan has such great confidence in these receivers now. Freddie Mitchell has stepped up. James Thrash has been solid for him.
From the 49. Low throw to Thrash, the former Redskin. Turns around and drags Matt Bowen with him for a couple.
Let me say something about Donovan McNabb. Joe brought up to him in the meeting. He says, you know, you've been sacked 43 times. And Donovan said, yeah. And a lot of that is on me. Because if you're watching him in these first 2 series of downs where he moves to the outside, he said, I feel that I could break loose and throw the ball or run with the ball. And a lot of these sacks, they're on. I got 43, but most of them are on me because of what I do to try to make a play.
Makes up for most of those sacks, doesn't it?
They do.
Redskins may have jumped. Westbrook trying to get outside and reaches the Redskin 43.
It's just like a whole bunch of people on the Redskins didn't realize that Westbrook had the ball.
Well, they didn't realize Chad Lewis was split out down around the goal line either.
You know, you got to identify the guy with the ball first when you're on defense. It's one of the prerequisites of playing defense.
This is a defense that's gone from 5th last year to 23rd this year.
And I think a problem, when you have an offense that likes to throw the ball as much as Coach Spurrier likes to put it up, the defense spends a lot of time on the field. They've lost some games in the fourth quarter because I believe defensively, they're just flat worn out.
Westbrook is the running back on 3rd and a yard. Westbrook behind Ritchie. And that's close. Trotter made the tackle right at the sticks.
Boy, that was a nice play by Jeremiah Trotter coming down the line of scrimmage.
Don't look. Did he make it, Paul?
Did he make it?
Yeah, just without a bench.
No, he didn't make it.
Oh, okay. They're short.
He's about a half a ball short. But Ritchie's coming out here to block, and that's a good block. But Jeremiah Trotter just comes down the line of scrimmage and makes the play like a linebacker should.
Of course, Jeremiah Trotter having a little bit more impetus to play in this game, having been a former Philadelphia Eagle.
Ooh, half the ball. I'm so good. It's getting close to the end of the year. My eyes are coming back now.
Yeah.
Where were they?
We have, what, 2 more games, right?
Yeah. And you know what?
You got to go for it.
With this team, with this offensive line,
with Donovan McNabb,
I don't think there's, you know, and I can assure you that these guys, I mean, they want home field advantage. You got an offensive line. Now, how much do they make? How many millions?
Not as many as Donovan, but they're pretty close.
Well, then you got to make sure that they make a hole.
But the other thing is, they're actually a better road team, the Eagles are, than they are a home team. They're 5-3 at home, 6-1 on the road. They need this to get some people healthy. Well, they need a bye.
When you said that yesterday, you know, like you're better off on the road, they all looked at you like you were nuts, like I look at you most of the time.
Since 2000, they've had the best road record in the NFL. McNabb, quarterback keeper, he's got the first down near the Redskins 40.
How can you tell Donovan McNabb's going to carry the ball? The only guy in the backfield with him goes in motion. Duce Staley. He's by himself.
Did you see Tom Brady today in a New England-Buffalo game?
Oh, yeah, that was
the
neat.
First quarter, there were 3 rush plays, and Tom Brady had all of them. He had 25 yards. They lined up, spread out the Buffalo Bills, and just stomped them.
Well, the one time he ran that quarterback sneak, it was absolutely beautiful.
And they have home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the AFC.
And the last time the New England Patriots lost was right here in FedEx Field to the Redskins.
And that was at the height of their injury problem. I believe they were missing 9 starters that day. McNabb on first down, pressure, throws to Staley. 25, 20. Barrels his way to the 16-yard line. And the Eagles are just running over people.
I want to show you something. That offensive line is doing a good job, but this defensive line of the Washington Redskins can generate absolutely no pressure on Donovan McNabb. Watch the time he has. You don't see any Redskin defensive lineman get off the ball. Donovan's just standing back there, and he manages to get the ball out. That's Martin Chase is the only one that really gets anywhere near him. And Duce does a terrific job. A little bit of breadbasket holding the ball.
McNabb continuing his hot streak, 9 out of 11, 130 yards. Another first down, another play fake. McNabb rifles one incomplete, and that one hit Bowen right in the chest.
Oh, hello.
That thing was a bullet. And that's the end of the first quarter. The Eagles driving, leading the Redskins 7-0.
The GMC Sierra Extended Cab with more standard V8 horsepower than the new Ford F-150. Try as they might, they still can't catch us. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. Sierra is the only full-size pickup available with OnStar.
Cheers.
Some light beers don't taste like anything. Next time, try a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Good call.
Jeff Smoker and the Spartans air it out against the tough black-shirt defense of Nebraska. The MasterCard Alamo Bowl, Michigan State, Nebraska, Monday at 9 Eastern. It's all part of Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN.
Ready to start the second quarter with the Eagles up 7-0. Tomorrow night at 7:30. Hope you'll join us for NFL primetime at 7:30. Get caught up on all the day's action. Then Jamal Lewis tries to break the NFL single-season rushing record. The Ravens host the Steelers on ESPN Sunday Night Football at 8:30. Only 4 men have ever rushed for over 2,000 yards. Jamal looking to join that exclusive club, and he has a shot at Eric Dickerson's all-time record, 21:05. We will be there to bring it to you tomorrow night.
I think you'll get to 2,000. The record is going to be tough.
I think he'll get to 2,000, but certainly the Pittsburgh Steelers do not want to be the football team that he sets the record on. And in 5 games against the Steelers, he's only averaged about 60 yards. Now, there are reasons, but the fact is he's only got 60 yards against them.
McNabb, little trickery, goes to Westbrook, and Westbrook cut down by the middle linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter.
Boy, it was Jeremiah Trotter and Westbrook, and that's all it really was. They had a blocker out in front, but Trotter makes a sensational play here. Here's a linebacker coming underneath. They don't block him. Now he's got to make the tackle, and he goes down to the legs of Westbrook. What a great play.
And I look for little things out of a quarterback. Donovan McNabb pumped to his left. And then if you could see how quickly he got his head around to locate Westbrook and then throw the ball. He didn't throw the ball blindly out into the flat like I see so many young quarterbacks do. He knew where the receiver had to be and saw him.
Third and long, the Eagles have been dreadful. Staley comes in on third down. McNabb with a lot of time and throws complete inside the 10. Trotter makes the tackle. It will not be a first down. And there's a flag down at the 5. Freddie Mitchell made the catch.
It's going to be pass interference against the Redskins.
We've seen Donovan McNabb throw 2 bullets. One at the end of the first quarter that almost killed somebody.
Illegal contact, defense, number 29, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Franz.
Todd Franz.
Well, the one that he threw down here at the end of the quarter, I'm serious, he almost killed somebody. And then this one here, this one was another bullet.
Well, this is what happens. We talked about the injuries with the Eagles and how they've done an excellent job. With Olete out, they're starting free safety. Todd Franz is a backup. He's got to go in and try and play. And there are reasons why guys are starters in this league, and there are reasons why guys are twos.
Right. And Franz is a very good special team player. First down, Eagles on the penalty. Spinning outside, Buckhalter dragged down to the 11. Arrington made that stop.
Wouldn't it be nice, really, it's fantasy land, but wouldn't it be nice to be able to keep these 3 running backs? And I know, Joe, it's not going to be really, well, there is a possibility.
Okay, talking to Duce last night, he almost believes that he can come back. He believes that maybe Andy will go to a 1-back. Maybe one of them will jump up and up in camp, and he'll say, all right, you're my guy. I don't think so, but Duce might believe it.
It's interesting because Duce caught so much flack, and from us, when he held out in preseason, said he didn't want to be part of the rotation, but since he has come back, he has been a real team guy. Been very unselfish about this. McNabb still looks, throws to the goal line. No signal yet. Pinkston out of bounds near the 1.
You know, Joe, this is every time that Donovan McNabb runs a bootleg
to the right,
nobody forces him. Well, from the defensive line, he comes out. Watch this. Here he goes, and I know you got to take a look at Duce. It's kind of a half roll, but look at really. There's nobody putting pressure on him. Bruce Smith is trying to, number 78. He can't get close, and then look at this dart.
See, Todd Pinkston is really down on about the half-yard line. The spot is where he got pushed out of bounds. I would say one thing. Martin Chase is trying. Number 92. He's certainly trying. He just can't get anywhere.
This drive started at the 4. It's gone 95 yards so far. McNabb, he'll run it in unmolested.
The fake to Richie was beautiful. The fake to Richie was beautiful.
And I like the dance. I like the celebration.
And that is the longest drive the Eagles have engineered this year, 96 yards.
You know, if you don't think that breaks the back of a football team, you got them down on the 4-yard line, and you know, in your home.
But let me ask you a question, Paul. Here's one of the most dangerous players in the entire league, Donovan McNabb. He fakes to John Ritchie, who has 1 carry for 1 yard this season. Who are you going to believe?
But, you know, as a defense, you don't necessarily identify the running backs as much as the quality and the production they've gotten out of it. So whether it's John Ritchie, Duce Staley, Correll Buckhalter, Brian Westbrook, it doesn't matter. They still have to respect it.
Now,
I can handle this.
when Mom's away, Dad will play.
Heads up!
A little less risk, Mike.
Got it.
Guys, meet the family.
What's up, boys?
Steve Martin.
So, Dylan, know any good restaurants?
Cheaper by the dozen. Rated PG. Now playing only in theaters.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? A Pioneer plasma display can deliver more than 1 billion colors, taking high-definition television to a whole new level. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
DirecTV Freeview Events presents the legendary Allman Brothers Band. Experience jam and blues rock at its finest. Enjoy time-honored classics and exciting new songs as they perform at New York's historic Beacon Theater. The Allman Brothers Band. Free every day in December on DirecTV Channel 103. Look for their acclaimed new CD and DVD on sale now.
The Eagles have made it look easy so far. 2 touchdowns.
The guy that's made it look easy is Donovan McNabb, and he's using everybody. There he throws back to Brian Westbrook. Now he hangs one down the middle to Todd Pinkston, who makes a great catch. And he continues to scramble around. This time it's Duce Staley making some extra yards. And oh, by the way, there's his tight end, Chad Lewis, for the touchdown. He has spread the ball around all over. 4 to the receivers, 1 to the tight end for a touchdown, and 6 to the running backs. This has got to make Andy Reid, his head coach and coordinator, very, very happy.
Andy Reid trying to get this team peaking for the playoffs. This one goes 5-6 yards deep in the end zone to Morton, and he won't try to run it out. So the Redskins, already down 14-0, will start from their own 20 when we come back.
Big Monday returns January 5th on ESPN.
Maybe this isn't the best time to say it, but I think you're really beautiful.
Well, I've always been attracted to you too, Paul.
Wait, hold on one sec, babe. Excuse me?
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest Airlines Internet Specials. Just $39 to $99 when you purchase by January 19th. Only at Southwest.com. You are now free to move about the country.
Drive a sports car like no other. The all-new Mazda RX-8.
When your picture really matters, rely on Verizon Wireless Picture Messaging. It lets you personalize your pictures with text and sound.
Give me what I want or else.
So you can really grab people's attention.
Too many squirrels.
My clippers. Now you can get unlimited picture messaging for only $4.99 a month.
Can you hear me now? I got my squirrel.
Good. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
This ESPN NFL special brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Mazda, there's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. And Bank of America, higher standards.
Nation's capital decked out for the holidays, and that is either the residence of George W. Bush or Joseph Theismann. I'm not sure from that angle.
I believe that's
which one it is.
I believe that's President Bush.
President Bush.
Someplace I haven't gotten to
Joe's
yet.
got that garage on the right.
Mine, you can tell it doesn't have the pillars. Robin's working on the pillars, though.
Morton and Johnson, the running backs, behind Hasselbeck. Draw play, Morton.
See, now, I think that's a good call. I believe that the Redskins have to be able to have some type of a running game to at least give their defense a chance to get some rest.
Yeah, now they're 1st and 20.
Well, you know, I'd run it again. Maybe you get to 2nd and 14.
Their running game is in Carolina.
Number 77, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And
Randy Thomas.
And doing quite well, I might add,
Yes,
in the body of Stephen Davis. And I think that Coach Spurrier realizes in this year, I think he's learned a lot this year. I think he's learned that you just can't throw the football. He's learned that the offense needs blitz packages to be able to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. That's only been implemented for the Redskins in the last 8 weeks.
He freely admitted in his first year that he overrated the ability of his ex-Gators to play. Morton on the toss. A nice burst across the 15 near the 20. Let's go to Susan.
Mike, you might think this game would be about revenge for Tim Hasselbeck. After all, the Eagles cut him twice, but he said no, it's just the opposite, that his experience with the Eagles was unbelievable, and he credits Andy Reid for giving him his opportunity. He was with the Eagles last year from the time Donovan went down until the end of the preseason. He said if not for that, he may not be playing here today. A lot of his good friends are on the opposite side of the line, but it doesn't look like his information has been too much help.
Not yet, Susie. You're absolutely right. Bought the ball at the 20. Hasselbeck to throw. Pressure up the middle. Lost the ball. The Eagles have it. Knocked away by Corey Simon, and N.D. Kalu, the former Redskin, pounced on it.
I'll tell you, Corey Simon, you talk about no quit in a guy. He's blocked at the line of scrimmage, and he causes his fumble. Number 90 is Corey Simon. He was blocked at the line of scrimmage. Now he reaches in and knocks the ball out of Hasselbeck. That is what you call not stopping and giving 100%. Watch this. He's blocked in the middle. Number 90, right there at the line of scrimmage. Look at the spin move back to the outside, and then has the presence of mind to knock the ball out.
You know, if you're Tim Hasselbeck, the most important thing to do is protect the football. If you're going to run around, get two hands on it. The guy that does, I think, the best job in the late is Steve McNair. Steve McNair has such wonderful presence, has two hands on the ball as he moves around in a pocket.
Staley, the deep man behind McNabb, and Donovan wants to throw. Down to the 6-yard line to Freddie Mitchell, and the Eagles are making this look way too easy. That is the 7th different receiver McNabb has hit tonight.
What do you see Freddie Mitchell go down? This was so close to the line or to the ground. No, that is a great catch. Freddie Mitchell takes that ball about an inch off the ground. That is a sensational catch.
And Champ Bailey's convinced that it hit the ground.
And here's some bad news for the Eagles. Brian Westbrook, we are told, has a torn tricep muscle. Todd Pinkston injured a toe and has gone in for x-rays. So that 3-man rotation is gone, and now Duce Staley is in there. And Duce will get the ball. And Arrington makes sure he didn't get any yardage out of it.
We did a game a number of years ago with Art Shell when he was coaching the Raiders, and he had Bo Jackson. He had a bunch of running backs. And I remember asking him, I said, aren't you going to get rid of some of them? He said, the running back situation will take care of itself.
Yeah, I remember.
Now you look at Andy Reid and you say, why do you play 3 guys? Why do you have the rotation? Every one of those guys can step up and be a lead back for him if they have to. And now it looks like 2 of them are going to have it happen.
Down to Buckhalter and Staley at this point with Westbrook out. McNabb guns it. And it's Mitchell, touchdown.
Hey, Freddie Mitchell, isn't another Arizona guy that went out to see him?
Yeah, Freddie Mitchell was the other guy who went out with Donovan and worked out with him.
Well, look at this. I mean, he knows he has Duce McAllister out to his right. Or Duce Staley, excuse me, out to his right. But he sees Freddie Mitchell in that slot, and he just hits him for the touchdown. That was easy.
You just can't. This offense is geared to absolutely eat zones alive. Unless you can disrupt the receivers coming off the line of scrimmage and upset the timing of this offense, you literally can't stop somebody like Donovan McNabb.
In the last 9 weeks, McNabb's quarterback rating is close to 100. He has thrown 12 touchdown passes, only 4 interceptions. And the Eagles well on their way to clinching the NFC East.
Vince Young and Cedric Benson lead the high-powered Longhorn attack against Washington State. The Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, Washington State, Texas. Tuesday at 8. It's all part of Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN.
We managed to gather evidence of a mutant training facility.
Nobody really knows how many even exist or how to find them, except you.
Now is the time for those who are different to stand united. X2 X-Men United, plus a behind-the-scenes special.
Tune to the 100s and order it with your remote on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Imagine having it all. The Total Choice Premier Package from DirecTV delivers over 195 channels of our best programming, including all of our premium services, HBO, Stars, Showtime, Cinemax, and Sports Pack. Get more movies, more sports, and the maximum entertainment variety with Total Choice Premier. Call 1-800-DIRECTV and order today.
Time's running out in the year 2003.
So in this edition of DirecTV Customer News, we're going to show you how to save time during the busy holiday season.
With instant, non-stop holiday music for your next party.
And details on how DirecTV helps you avoid the mad rush at the mall.
All this plus free concerts and a special interview with one of the stars of X-Men 2.
It's all on DirecTV Customer News, playing around the clock all month on Channel 201. See you there.
The Eagles with a right to celebrate. 21-0 over the Redskins. And Donovan McNabb, as well as he's throwing, he is finding guys that are wide open. And in the case of his tight end, Chad Lewis, at times totally uncovered at the goal line.
There wasn't a person in row 4 was closer to him than a defensive back. The other thing that you notice about Donovan is he's escaped a lot of pressure and made plays throwing the ball.
Chad Morton from the 4. And cut down at the 23. 9:24 to go, first half of play from FedEx Field. Eagles on top.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Jack?
The way you feel about sports cars will never be the same.
Disciplined investing. It's not about following the crowd. At T. Rowe Price, our independent research means we're not deceived by every market ripple, and we don't chase every fad. Over 75% of our mutual funds beat their 3, 5, and 10-year Lipper averages. We have the experience to know what works and the insight to find real opportunity. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
Hi, I'm Kevin Frazier. Join me as I count down the ESPN 100. Everyone and everything that mattered most in sports in 2003. I'm innocent.
Once again, it's another save.
ESPN 100, Monday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Eagles spanking the Redskins 21-0. Second quarter, 9:24 to go until the first half. And the old ball coach not having fun right now.
Well, I mean, when your quarterback puts the ball on the ground, it just makes it hard. I mean, that way it puts his defense right back out on the field. The worst thing happened is the offense was out for such a short period of time. I mean, time of possession in this game, 14 minutes to 6 minutes. That's how much the Redskins had. Remember, the Redskins had the first drive. That took 4 minutes of it.
Steve Spurrier now 12-19 overall. In the division, he's only won 2 games in 2 years. And this high-powered offense from the University of Florida has only produced 18.9 points a game. That's in the lower 4th of the NFL, and they've used 4 different quarterbacks in 2 years as starters. Of course, this year a necessity because Patrick Ramsey, who has a tremendous future, I think, was hurt. Cartwright on the draw. Joe, you talked to Daniel Snyder before the game. You've talked to him throughout the year, and we've heard and read the quotes in the paper. He said Steve Spurrier will be back next year. What do you think's going to happen?
He wants Steve Spurrier back. There's no question. He's not going to lose him to Miami or any place else. I believe it's in Steve Spurrier's court. And I don't believe Coach Spurrier is going to walk out on it. He's learned a lot. He's grown a lot as a coach. This football team needs help. They realize that. Daniel Snyder believes and wants Steve Spurrier to be his coach next year. I think next year is the telling year for Steve Spurrier. You've had a couple years to find out what you didn't have and what doesn't work. Now you have to implement it in the 3rd year.
Well, normally, Paul, you say a coach needs 3 years, not only to implement his system, but to get the kind of players he wants in his system.
Well, I think the most important thing is what he has to do. When he let Stephen Davis go, he made the biggest mistake that he could ever make with a football team, a runner. If he doesn't go out and get a runner, you could take this offense and forget about it because they can't do anything. And I have a firm belief if they play as badly as they played in the first quarter and a half of this game, he may escape on tomorrow and not come back at all.
Nah, he'll come.
Cartwright is the deep man in the eye on 2nd and 2, and Rock trying to get to the outside. Turns the corner, has the first down, and knocked out of bounds.
The other thing about Steve Spurrier, I think the perception has been that he's going to get on a plane and go take 2 weeks after the season's over. And most people would say, why would a coach do that when a team is struggling and they could be 5-11 at the end? Steve Spurrier's never lost. He's not handling it well. It's a very frustrating position for him. And talking to Daniel as well, he said he feels like maybe he needs those 2 weeks away to evaluate his assistants, to evaluate a lot of things himself so that he can come on and make some decisions. So it's not a bad thing. It's not necessarily the way it's done in this league, but Steve Spurrier, when he came in here, had no intentions of doing it the way it's been done here.
Hasselbeck with time in the pocket. Floats it over the middle, and that one is complete to Lavernius Coles down to the 38. Michael Lewis made the tackle. That's a gain of 23.
And that's where you put some spark back into your football team. Lavernius Coles is your leading receiver. Now look at this. They just let him float across the middle. Hasselbeck this time had time to throw the football, and when he does have time to throw the football, this thing is right on target. Excellent catch.
Boy, Lewis at the strong safety has been a real find for them as well.
See, I think Lavernius Coles, when he left the Jets, I think it was a big hole in the Jets, and Curtis Conway did a good job of finally getting in. But Lavernius, great practice player, brings a toughness to the wide receiving core, brings a toughness to this football team, and also is very productive and fast. So he brings an awful lot to the table.
I'll tell you, there's a guy down on the field, Darwin Walker, number 97, who's a defensive tackle, and they can't afford to lose another lineman.
No, they can't.
You know, Paulie, there haven't been a whole lot of highlights for the Redskins, but if there are any, Lavernius Cole is the guy. He really is the man that gets us going, makes a great snag of the first pass in the ball game, continuing to work in the middle, make plays, make people miss, and then we see him come up with another big first down. 3 catches for 50 yards, working into the belly and the zone of this defense.
Now, the weakness for this Eagles defense, they have been shredded on the ground. They gave up 209 yards rushing a week ago, but the Redskins can't run the ball very well. So it's weakness against weakness at this point. Eagles show blitz and back out of it. Hasselbeck the screen. Morton hit from behind and dragged down by Nate Wayne, the free agent they picked up from Green Bay to replace Sean Barber.
You know, this is one of the hardest plays for a linebacker to really play is a screen pass because you're out in space. And if you miss, and if you don't get yourself in a football position like Nate Wayne just did there is a long gain coming up because he has blockers. And we saw on the other side of the ball, we saw Jeremiah Trotter make another nice play for the Redskins on a screen. And this is what linebackers have to do, get themselves in a position to make a play.
2nd and 7 for the Skins, trying to get on the board here in the second quarter. Hasselbeck over the middle, short game. And Dawkins was there to level Rod Gardner. Does anybody play better than Dawkins?
Well, I'll tell you what. You know, he is really a nice guy when you sit down and talk to you. And I said to Joe last night walking back from the hotel, he scares me. He really scares me because when you look at him, you know he is all football and nothing but football. He loves this game with a passion.
They said he's basically the heart of this defense. So many things happen. They weren't able to do a lot of things. He missed 9 games with a sprained foot.
Big third down for the Redskins trying to keep this drive going. Hasselbeck over the middle, and they've got a first down to Morton as he reaches the 25-yard line, the tackle from Bobby Taylor.
Really, the key on this drive is they've not gotten themselves into long yardage situations. That's where Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, can really bring pressure and make a big difference.
It's been interesting the way the Eagles have played this, though. The first time the Redskins had the ball, we saw one blitz with only one guy. The second series, they brought the house about 5 different times. Now they're back to not blitzing.
I think they're going to start bringing the house again real soon. It's what Jim Johnson likes to do.
He likes to blitz down here in particular. The Redskins have reached the 25. Here they come. And Hasselbeck didn't have a chance. Ike Reese was on him before he could even take 3 steps.
You know that Ike Reese almost took the snap? This is hard to do and to stay onside. But number 58 is right over the middle. Watch this, folks. Bang. I mean, Rock Cartwright, number 40, was the guy that was supposed to block. He went to the left, but
Lenny Freeman, number 64, the center, he's got to block the guy over him. See, this is where a line that plays together has a chance to communicate. The big thing, I think, for the Redskins, they haven't had enough guys here long enough to really get to know one another.
Second and long, they come with 4 this time. Hasselbeck throws. This one's complete. Down to the 17. There's a flag down as well. The catch made by Lavernius Coles will check the marker.
I'll tell you, it's against the Redskins. It's an offensive pass interference.
It's the last thing they needed.
Pass interference, offense, number 87, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Rod Gardner gets the penalty, which would make you think it's a pick.
Joe said, you know, you don't get to know each other, the offensive line. I'll tell you, Hasselbeck is getting to learn and know the Philadelphia defense very well.
He's been there twice. This is almost like his 3rd trip there, and he doesn't even realize he's wearing a different uniform.
They're revisiting him, I can tell you that. They're coming after him.
The one thing that's happening for the Redskins, at least, is they're giving their defense a chance to rest. And one of the guys that's missing off that Redskin defense is Darrell Russell. He's been, as Coach Spurrier says, he's been given the week off. Really, he missed a practice and he suspended him. And a guy like Darrell Russell, in my opinion, doesn't have any latitude to miss anything.
Not hardly. So if you get this week off, you get the rest of the year off as well, right?
As well as Zeron Flemister, the tight end.
Screen to Cartwright. 30, running room, 25. Rock Cartwright knocked out of bounds inside the 2. A gain of 38. Lavernius Coles threw a great block downfield.
I'll tell you what, in this league, as a wide receiver, we've said it time and time and time again about being able to block downfield when you're a wide receiver.
How many times have you seen when a defense rushes 3 guys, somebody picks up a second down and 25,000?
All right, here's the block. Look at that block. I mean, that is an outstanding block on Michael Lewis, who is a safety. And they got the ball at the 1-yard line.
First and goal, Redskins, which has really helped get the crowd back into it. Cartwright. Very close. No signal as yet.
Guys, this is where you miss the big back. This is where you can have Brian Johnson as a fullback. You just don't have a big body. I mean, Cartwright's fighting for the for the touchdown, but you just don't have a big body to slam it in there.
Look at it. Philadelphia's offside. And the right tackle on the Philadelphia defense has got his head across the line. And that's offside.
Inches away, second and goal. Cartwright, touchdown. And finally, the Redskins have something to cheer about here at FedEx Field.
That was a well-played drive, and they had a huge penalty on top of it in that drive and still picked it up on the screen pass. Here goes the rock spinning into the end zone. Good play.
You know what this tells me? This tells me that these Redskins won't quit on Coach Spurrier. That says an awful lot that a football team can, and says a lot about a football team when they come out and play hard. And that's the big thing you can do for a coach. Because we've seen guys quit on coaches in this league too.
10-play drive, 6.5 minutes off the clock, 76 yards, most importantly, a touchdown.
Hi, I'm Kevin Frazier. Join me as I count down the ESPN 100. Everyone and everything that mattered most in sports in 2003.
I'm innocent.
Once again, it's another save.
ESPN 100, Monday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is their greatest hits collection, featuring 16 of their best songs.
I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Dream of California.
The wait is over. Now, for the first time ever, you can own their greatest hits on one CD.
Standing in line to see the show tonight, and there's a light on, heavy glow.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits features 2 brand new songs, only available on this collection. Get the Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits and receive this CD opener free. To order the Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits for $18.98 plus $4.95 shipping and handling, call the number on your screen or log on to onlyhitmusic.com.
The DirecTV Preview Series presents what some consider to be the hottest band in the world today, Pearl Jam. This preview concert was captured live from Madison Square Garden, and now you have a front row seat to experience how this incredible band was meant to be seen. Pearl Jam, every day in December on Channel 103. Pick up their new CD and DVD today.
Redskins go on a 76-yard march and get their first touchdown with 2:53 to go in the half, and Hasselbeck was perfect on that drive, including the big play, which was the screen pass to Morton on 3rd and a mile.
Now here's where it tells. The offense stepped up. It's 21-7. The defense now has to. Well, there's 2:53, but you can't allow Philadelphia to go down and score anything.
Well, the Eagles have had the ball 3 times. They've scored 3 touchdowns.
They have 3 timeouts.
That doesn't sound very promising for a Redskins defense. That hasn't stopped them 3 times.
James Thrash, number 7 in the league in kickoff returns from the 4. Gets away from one tackler and then buried up to the 22. Let's go to Susan.
Donovan McNabb showing us all that he is a Pro Bowl quarterback tonight, spreading the ball around like he loves to do and keeping it for himself, thrilling the crowd. It's really been a tale of 2 seasons for Donovan. He followed the worst 6-game stretch of his career with maybe the best stretch ever. He said most offensive coordinators would have benched him. He said, but Brad Childress knows him so well. He said to him simply, you got to have fun again. You're pressing and trying to do too much. And when Donovan is tense, everyone is. His teammates agree. They said they weren't seeing that familiar Donovan McNabb smile. That was missing. He was carrying the weight of 2 losses in the NFC Championship game. You can tell that he's in the groove tonight.
Susie's been smiling a lot tonight. He's the only quarterback in the NFL to go to the Pro Bowl 4 straight years. Buckhalter on a little dump off, gets a couple.
Donovan McNabb, you got to see him. He's got to be smiling. Now, if he's not, well, a little wink, a little smile. When he's smiling, he said everything is fine.
And the other thing he's tried to do is he's giving his receivers a chance to make plays. We saw the catch that Todd Pinkston made in the middle against Fred Smoot. Normally, Donovan would try and make too good a throw and maybe not get it there. Now he's letting the guys go make plays for him.
McNabb on the run again. Throws another completion to Freddie Mitchell.
You know, the thing about him is the way he slides and moves. And I'm telling you something, when he slides and moves like on that last play, he reminds me a lot of Dan Marino. Now, Dan Marino couldn't... Wait a minute. No. I'm talking about the slide. That's all, not the running. Please, I'm not that dumb. Not the running. Dan Marino couldn't run. This guy could slide and run.
I love this land. It's been part of this family for over 2 generations. We know every acre of it because we've been managing all of this for over 30 years. My name is Sue Harshman. I'm a banker, and I'm proud to be part of the private bank of Bank of America. Many people are surprised to hear about a private bank managing this type of property, but you develop a breadth and depth of expertise when you're entrusted to manage today's complex wealth for so many families and individuals across America. Most of our clients are self-made. We advise them on how to preserve what they built for the next generation in their family. We help them create the trust to protect it for a long, long time. And along the way, we helped invest their money to protect it, to manage it, and to help it grow, just as we've been doing for private bank clients for the past 150 years. Just look at this land.
Bank of America, higher standards.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest-rated midsize sedan among owners, and 50 international awards. For the speed readers, the Mazda 6.
Get 0.0% APR financing for 5 years plus no monthly payments due until June 2004 or $2,500 cash back on selected 2003 Mazda 6 models.
As a United Way volunteer, Darren Howard helps out in a drama program that helps kids express themselves.
Action.
Badges? We don't need anything of badges.
Now, that was a good one.
Coming up at the half, Chris Berman with the Kia halftime show. The AFC Championship will go through New England. Jamal Lewis looking to join the elite will be there tomorrow night, and Larry Fitzgerald's great touchdown streak was stopped today in the bowl game.
The Pats are a much better football team than they were a couple years ago when they upset the Rams in Super Bowl 36.
They didn't think they upset them.
Could be a rematch. Could be looking at a rematch with the Rams having home field.
2 minutes to go, first half. LeVar Arrington tips it up in the air. McNabb makes the catch and loses about 5.
Now, Donovan would have been a lot better off just batting that down and letting it go to the ground.
LeVar Arrington just signed a multi-billion-dollar contract.
Multi-billion?
Yeah, he owns a team now. Here's LeVar Arrington just timing it perfectly, going up in the air. And that's where a lineman has got to get into the stomach of a linebacker or a defensive back when you're coming in. You can't allow him to jump up like that and knock the ball.
Donovan McNabb just found a way to find another receiver. He is his own 8th receiver tonight. Duce Staley breaks one tackle, dives out to the 39.
We talked about Donovan McNabb sliding out to his right. You see he's thrown one pass to the left flat. Everything else, has been up the middle. 12 for 12 out to the right flat under 15 yards. 0 for 2 up the field. This offense does not lend itself to throw the ball over 15 yards very often.
Eagles choosing to let the clock run. It's down to 51. The Redskins not using a timeout to stop it. McNabb on 3rd and long. And they've got a first down inside the Redskins 49. Freddie Mitchell dragging a tackler with him. And that is about the 6th time in this first half that an Eagle player has taken a Redskin defender 2 or 3 extra yards for a first down.
Yeah, but I don't understand. You can't stop him playing zone. You know he's going to flush to the right. Come and put pressure on him. Make him get the ball out of his hands before the receivers have a chance to go 10 yards. There's the catch. Now watch Freddie Mitchell. He's going to fight and carry Bowens for the extra yards.
Mitchell with 4 catches for 47 yards. No matter which team you think is number 1, the only place to see them play is on ABC. New Year's Day at 4:30 Eastern, the most talked about bowl championship series in history, begins as USC looks to prove their championship material against Michigan in the Rose Bowl.
How does USC have that number 3 tag in front of it? I don't.
To me, they're number 1.
I don't quite understand. I know it's going to be a great.
Don't go there.
It's going to be a great day of watching terrific football on ABC. That much I do.
That's right. And we're going to be traveling.
Was I nice?
Yeah, we'll be getting ready to do another game.
That's right. We'll be doing the wild card game. Could be an AFC wild card game.
First down for McNabb and the Eagles, trying to put more on the board before the half is over. Arrington trying to put on the pressure and then force McNabb to throw wide of Pinkston.
Boy, I'll tell you, LeVar Arrington, you can tell that this guy, I mean, he just does not give up. He does not give up. He keeps coming. He knocked the ball down a couple plays ago. But this guy, I'll tell you what, you got to have desire and a passion for the game. And here's number 56. Watch this move here. Boom. He throws Runyon out, comes back in. But Donovan's already got the ball gone.
Now, keep in mind, John Runyon is 330 pounds.
That's right. LeVar's 255. That is not his favorite spot with his hand down as a defensive end. 2nd and 10 with 32 seconds to go in the half. McNabb with plenty of time now and airs it out for Pinkston. An excellent coverage by Smoot. He was not about to let Pinkston get behind him.
Donovan McNabb wanted to go up top to Todd Pinkston. You see, Smoot giving ground, little pump and go. He doesn't bite. He's got that long stride. And if anything, Todd Pinkston will grab Fred Smoot, try and pull him back. Now, if you want to call offensive pass interference, that might be a time that you grab the hanky when the receiver grabs the defender.
Might have had a chance to do it 3 times on that play.
That was very nice around Christmas time. You were very nice.
Last week I was benevolent. This week I'm even more.
3rd down, McNabb, screen pass, Staley. Champ Bailey will make the tackle on this one at the 45-yard line.
That's a good job by the Redskin defense. You made the mention, Paul. They can't do anything. They can't give up a touchdown. They couldn't even give up a field goal. This will give them a chance to go back in at halftime and say, all right, look, last time we had the ball, we got a touchdown. Their defense is going to come right back out on the field at the beginning of the second half because the Eagles will get the ball. Going to have to do the same thing.
Well, there's 10 seconds left to go, and Donovan McNabb's walking over with the offense like he wants to continue, but they're not going to do that. They're going to kick. They're going to punt. Dirk Johnson is coming in, number 8. And I would like to see him just take the ball and kick it out of bounds inside the 10. But they won't do that.
Pooch, babe. Pooch. Little poocher.
And Chad Morton will go back and wait inside the 10. You wouldn't think with this amount of time left there would be any point in giving Morton a chance to return it.
Absolutely not. Kick it out of bounds as far as you can. If you're a right-footed kicker, you kick it left. If you're a left-footed kicker, you kick it right. And don't let him even get near it.
I think you kick it in the end zone. Not left, not right.
Redskins show block, and that's going to be 5 yards against the Eagles.
That's, the center on the Eagles kick team. The long snapper, Bartram, number 88. He jerks the ball.
Sometimes as the deep snapper, you're trying to draw people offside, but that wasn't a very good fake.
Well, they call it. They didn't. Look at the center. But number 57 is the guy they called it on.
You know who used to be great at that? D.D. Lewis with the Dallas Cowboys was the snapper. He used to bend his head down, and just like we saw Bartram do it, snap his head up, except his right guard and right tackle moved here. But D.D. Lewis used to do it all the time. He used to hate it. Hated it.
Joe had a long snapper for one play.
Well, you can appreciate, us punters appreciate that, Paul.
Yes. They know us, the punters, and you. Remember, Leon, ain't no we, ain't no I, there ain't no us. You ain't a us. You are not an us. Ever. One punt, 1 yard. An us.
2 seconds to go. You wouldn't imagine the Redskins will try to do anything with this.
See, I like that. He kicked the ball out of bounds. Now the ball goes out of bounds, but that is a smart play. You don't have to worry about your average. Doesn't make any difference. You're going to the playoffs. Don't give them an opportunity to return it.
Well, the Eagles should know. I mean, it was a kick return against the Giants that if you talk to the Eagle players, Andy Reid, earlier in the season when the Eagles were struggling, it was a kick return by Brian Westbrook against the New York Giants that really sank the Giants ship and really elevated the Eagles to an opportunity to catapult and go forward. Jacket looks a little tight on you. Did you notice? It's a little snug, buddy.
He's trying to get into a medium.
You know how much candy you get for Christmas? That's the end of the first half. 21-7 Eagles over the Redskins. Let's join Chris Berman for the Kia halftime show.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. So the Philadelphia Eagles looking very, very sharp, like a team that knows where it wants to go. First things first, they win tonight, they win the NFC East. The Eagles had their winning streak stopped last week at 9. The New England Patriots, another team that knows where it wants to go, tried to run their winning streak to 12 earlier this afternoon. They were playing the Buffalo Bills and their ex-teammate Lawyer Malloy, part of the Bills team that beat the Patriots 31-0 in Week 1, but it would be a complete 180. Mike Vrabel with the pick, as he had a big year along with Teddy Bruschi and all those Patriot defenders and certainly the linebackers. Tom Brady, Bethel Johnson, and 2 touchdown passes, 2 different receivers, already 14-0 New England. Second quarter, as Bethel dances, Malloy tries to fire up the Bills, but it was not to be. Brady, Detroit Brown, and batter it down. 3 touchdown passes to 3 different guys, 21-0 P-Man. Then Malloy and Brady, still very good friends. Malloy hit as he came in on the rush, hit Brady in the knee and buckled, but Tom did not miss a play. Still in the second quarter. It looked bad, but it looked worse for the Bills. Brady, David Gibbons, 28-0. A military field goal, 31-0. And Larry Ratso Izzo preserves the 31-0 U-turn. Home field for the playoffs, Tom Brady.
I don't think anybody cares, to tell you the truth. I mean, every team that's in the playoffs has had a successful season, and they're really the best teams. And the team, Tampa Bay won it last year, and they didn't have home field. We won it 2 years ago. We didn't have home field. And then Baltimore had it 3 years ago. They didn't have home field. So having home field is important. I think the bye is probably more important than that. And no matter where you play, if you play good football, you should go out there and win it.
Well, no matter where the Patriots have played since September, they have won every game since the merger. They're only the 4th team to string together 12 or more straight wins. The undefeated Dolphins, of course, in 72 won it all. The 98 Broncos started with 13 wins in 98. They won the Super Bowl. The 85 Bears started that season with 12 straight wins. They won the Super Bowl. The Patriots have finished this season with 12 straight wins. Can they win 3 more to win the Super Bowl? New England now does have home field advantage to the playoffs. Kansas City also gets a bye, but no matter what they do tomorrow, they'll be the 2 seed. Whoever wins the AFC South, Indy controls their fate. They'll be the 3 seed. Baltimore on ESPN on Sunday night controls their fate. In the AFC North, they will be the 4 seed. The team that doesn't, probably Tennessee and the Denver Broncos, are your wild card. Mike Holmgren's Seahawks trying to win for only the 2nd time all year on the road in San Francisco. And early on, more of the same for the Seahawks on the road. Jeff Ulbrich with the tipped interception. And during the interception, quarterback Matt Hasselbeck ran into a photographer on the sideline. Bad picture. Fortunately, he'd be okay. But the picture got worse for Seattle. Jeff Garcia, Cedric Wilson, and the Niners lead 14-0. But Seattle took their best shot and came back. Matt Hasselbeck looking for the Pro Bowl special teams player. That's Alex Bannister. Touchdown, and we're tied 14 at the half. Niners kick a field goal in the 3rd quarter. And then Hasselbeck to Corin Robinson. Yes, the feet get in. And the Seahawks lead 21-17. A challenge by Dennis Erickson, but a good call from upstairs. And then 24-17, just over a minute to go. Garcia trying to rally the Niners to Brandon Lloyd. T.O. didn't play, of course, in this game, but look at the catch by Lloyd. Yikes! Why don't we look at it again? Because it's amazing. The Niners, though, still a yard short to keep the drive going. And on 4th and 1, Jeff Garcia, incomplete. So the Niners, they can win on the road all year. They win last week. Now they can't win at home. Seahawks still alive for Mike Holmgren.
We needed to win the last 2 to have a chance, and we did. And so they did what I asked them to do. And now it's really out of our hands. You know, I told the fellows if they don't normally go to church, I want them in church tomorrow. And see if one of these other teams can help us a little bit.
This halftime show is presented by Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count.
When we return, we'll look at the playoff picture and we'll get you set for what could be a record-breaking night on ESPN tomorrow night.
How did we design the Kia Sorento to attain the highest quality? How did it get the government's highest safety rating? How did we back it with such a great warranty and still price it thousands less than the competition? How did we do all this? We worked our freaking tails off. That's how. The obsessively perfected Kia Sorento.
Let me tell you about the number 7. It's a card you fold in poker. Snow White had 7 dwarves because the guy who wrote it got sick of coming up with names. But that was before the playoffs, before the drive, before the comeback kid won back-to-back championships in old age. Now 7 makes people sleep better at night. 7's bigger than a city that's a mile high. That's how important the playoffs are. Before they showed up, 7 was just 13 minus 6. But now 7 is 7.
Welcome back to the Kia Halftime Show with your host, Chris Berman.
And those performances against the Cleveland Browns have put Jamal Lewis of the Ravens within 48 yards of becoming only the 5th man ever to rush for 2,000 yards in one single NFL season. And where will he try to do it? He's also only 153 yards shy of the all-time record by Eric Dickerson. Sunday Night Football, the double dip. Steelers at Ravens at 8:30 Eastern, our regular NFL prime time. You want to join us for that? At 7:30 Eastern time, we'll see if we have a record. Eagles steamrolling thus far toward the NFC East crown in an opening round bye, lead the Skins 21-7 at the half. When we return, guy that could be in the NFL next year, Larry Fitzgerald. If that's the case, did he close his college career with the win? We go bowling in a moment.
Big Monday returns January 5th on ESPN.
How did we design the Kia Sorento to attain the highest quality? How did it get the government's highest safety rating? How did we back it with such a great warranty and still price it thousands less than the competition? How did we do all this? We worked our freaking tails off. That's how. The obsessively perfected Kia Sorento.
The National Football League family is committed to supporting the courageous men and women serving in the U.S. Armed Forces in the Mideast. But the fight for freedom is not without loss. And the NFL urges you to join us and the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund in supporting the military families of those heroes who have sacrificed their lives in the service of our country. Please visit NFL.com/HeroesFund and help support those families in need.
This halftime show is presented by Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count.
Welcome back to halftime, everybody. George Steinbrenner, the principal owner of the New York Yankees, at a service for the late passing of Otto Graham in Sarasota, Florida, fainted. He was helped and rushed to the hospital. We understand now that Mr. Steinbrenner is in stable condition, and a hospital spokesman says that he is fine, and that certainly is good news. There's also news from the hardwoods. Rick Pitino, Louisville, back at his old haunts in Kentucky. Taquan Dean, it's a 3 from a mile away. Louisville leads Kentucky. Kentucky held. Gerald Fitch hits a 3 in his foul, but that was their only field goal in the last 5:47. Francisco Garcia with a tough 3 for Louisville. And second time this year they beat the number 1 team. They beat Kentucky 65-56. The Continental Tire Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina. That job for Virginia to tight end Heath Miller, and he could go all the way. 52 yards. With Virginia leading Pittsburgh 23-16 Ron Rutherford, it's hit. He fumbles. Virginia recovers. Larry Fitzgerald, no touchdown catches, first time in 18 games. Al Groh and Virginia celebrate their 2 for 2 in the 2-year history of the Continental Tire Bowl. Donovan McNabb has thrown for 2. He's run for a touchdown. His Eagles 30 minutes away from another NFC East crown, leading the Skins 21-7.
Hi, I'm Kevin Frazier. Join me as I count down the ESPN 100. Everyone and everything that mattered most in sports in 2003. I'm innocent.
I beg for your forgiveness.
Here's James. Again, it's another save.
Suspended.
Hear what the athletes, insiders, and fans had to say about the year that was.
This is NFL history.
ESPN 100. Everyone and everything that mattered most in sports in 2003. Monday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Rock and roll all night with Kissipity Alive 4 in concert. Playing on DirecTV pay-per-view all this month. See them like you've never seen them before. Performing their hits with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. And included with the pay-per-view is your very own Kissipity DVD shipped directly to you. Order Kissipity Alive 4 in concert on DirecTV pay-per-view on Channel 101 all month long. And receive the Kissipity DVD for free.
It's the best wrestling on pay-per-view today. TNA, Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling. And now, you can witness the moments that made TNA Wrestling the Wednesday night phenomenon. Witness the carnage firsthand on the best of TNA Wrestling this month on pay-per-view.
DirecTV Freeview Events presents the legendary Allman Brothers Band. Experience jam and blues rock at its finest. Enjoy time-honored classics and exciting new songs as they perform at New York's historic Beacon Theater. The Allman Brothers Band, free every day in December on DirecTV Channel 103. Look for their acclaimed new CD and DVD on sale now.
In the first half, Donovan McNabb showed people why he is the only NFL quarterback going to his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl. He was absolutely brilliant, hit 8 different receivers, including himself on one tip pass, to lead the Eagles to a 21-7 halftime lead here at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Welcome back to Washington, everybody. And the thing that people forget, the Redskins played so well in this first game between these two teams. They were only a 2-point conversion at the end away from tying that ball game, Paul.
Well, that's the one thing that the Philadelphia Eagles cannot do now is just rest on that. They scored 21 points. They need to come back out here and score 21 more points.
I think the Redskins defensively have to do what they did at the end of the half. They've got to get on the field, stop the Eagles, put the ball back in the hands of the Redskins. And it's not like the Redskins have not moved the football.
Right.
They have moved it against this Eagle defense. The problem has been is the turnover that really gave them the easy touchdown when they were backed up in the second quarter.
And just before the half, Michael, they realized they can stop the Philadelphia Eagles, when they did.
Andy Reid, of course, hoping to clinch that NFC East Division Championship. It would be his 3rd straight. He has already been named NFL Coach of the Year twice in his first 4 years as the Eagles head coach.
And this is a football team, remember, that has gone to 2 consecutive NFC Championship games as well.
Thrash the deep man will bring it out for the Philadelphia Eagles and dive forward across the 25-26-yard line. The Eagles will start from there. McNabb had an exceptional first half, 186 yards and 2 scores on 18 out of 23 passing.
I like the 2 rushes for 3 yards.
You know, his statistics, I mean, I know he's going to his 4th Pro Bowl, but coming into this game, he'd only thrown 13 touchdown passes with 11 interceptions.
Right, he did not have Pro Bowl numbers.
I thought Matt Hasselbeck really posted the Pro Bowl numbers. And hey, by the way, the Seattle Seahawks still alive. They beat San Francisco today. Matt played very, very well. But yet Donovan had a great game last week against the Miami Dolphins, and I think it made a difference.
McNabb to throw on first down. Floats it down the middle, and that one is too far for his tight end, L.J. Smith. the rookie out of Rutgers, who has made 25 catches this year.
And one thing about Donovan McNabb, when he goes back to pass like that, they're rushing from the outside and they're leaving the middle open. All he's doing is just taking that 2 or 3 steps up forward, Joe, and he's got all the time in the world to throw the football.
It's too easy for him. When you practice, there's a drill called 7-on-7. That means that the defensive linemen aren't there. You're just throwing against the linebackers and the defensive backs. And that's basically what Donovan McNabb is doing. I think they have to bring some kind of blitz pressure on them.
Redskins lost their 2 big tackles this year. Did not replace them, and this time Buckhalter will get the carry, pick up about 6.
That's what I'm talking about McNabb out of the pocket. When McNabb gets a little bit of pressure to his outside, and he loves to roll to his right, you see the passes that he throws. These things are on target. This is so easy for him to throw while he's moving. Just step up, find the open receiver, and we have been sitting here watching it, and he's got open receivers. He's got a lot of them.
I promise you, as the Eagles get ready for the playoffs, every team in the NFC that feels like they might play the Eagles, they're going to have somebody putting pressure in Donovan McNabb's face to stop him from being able to escape and make those kind of throws.
Empty backfield for McNabb on 3rd and 4. No pressure again. Lewis will make the catch, and that is close. Or L.J. Smith will make the catch. That's close to a first down, and they signal it is.
The thing about L.J. Smith, the rookie out of Rutgers, 2nd-round pick, Chad Lewis, the starting tight end, who's really sort of lost his job a little bit here because of L.J.'s ability, he feels like this kid can be as good as Jeremy Shockey, which would make this division pretty special when it comes to tight ends.
Well, L.J. can stretch the field. He's got excellent speed for a tight end.
There's 9 receivers he's throwing the ball to now.
Buckhalter across the 40 to the 41. Let's go to Susie.
Talked to both coaches at halftime. First, Andy Reid. He said that Brian Westbrook is indeed serious with that torn muscle in his arm. Don't know about IR yet. That's a wait and see. As for how long Donovan McNabb will stay in tonight, he said that's also a wait and see to see just what the score will be later on in this half. He said he's very pleased with execution on both sides of the ball. As for Steve Spurrier, he said they just need to make some stops. He's happy that the guys are playing with heart. He said we're only down by 2 touchdowns. You never know what can happen.
Well, what can happen this time is the Redskins will stop that play, and a good stop by Todd Franz, who was in there for the injured Ifeanyi Oalete.
Now, this should be an advantage Redskins because we know how bad the Eagles are in 3rd down and 10 plus. I mean, coming into this game, they converted 4 of 46.
31st in the league.
Which is pretty bad. And so now they're looking at a 3rd and 9.
Well, that's not 10 plus.
But it's close.
No, it's not.
If you're the Redskins, you got to look for anything that's close. They're playing with hand grenades today. Just something close.
Blitz coming. Swing it to Staley out in the flat. He got away from Trotter, and that will be another first down. Jeremiah Trotter had made a couple of good tackles in the open field. That time he got a whip.
Remember I said at the beginning, you've got to break yourself down when you're one-on-one and you're out there on an island. Here it is. Duce Staley catches the ball. Now he sees Trotter. Trotter's running to cut off Staley. But you've got to make a play because you are the only guy out there. Now you're into the secondary. There's already a first down.
See, I think you're almost better off blitzing Jeremiah Trotter and letting LeVar Arrington be your cover guy because he has the ability and is athletic enough to make that play in space.
First down at the Skins 49. Buckhalter returns as the running back. And he gets the carry straight up the middle, pounds his way to the Redskin 44-yard line.
You know, this is a situation. You're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles. They have already had the ball for 4 minutes and counting. And this is one thing that the Washington Redskins cannot do. And that's let these guys move the ball down the field, run 8 minutes off the clock, and score.
Well, they lost. I mean, the Redskins, their time of possession has not been very good. The Chicago Bears had it almost 3/4 of the game last week against them.
And people have run the ball very well against this defense this year. Buckhalter again down to the 39. That'll be close to another first down. Lamar Marshall with the tackle. You know, Buckhalter did not play last week. And the reason was he was late to a practice And Andy Reid, even though he's part of the three-headed monster, told him he wasn't going to dress for the game. Now, this was in a big game. They had a 9-game winning streak going. Andy Reid has rules. You follow the rules or you pay the price. And Correll Buckhalter said, I completely understand.
And a lot of the players didn't know it till they were on their way to the stadium for the game. And I think that's the other thing, is when Andy Reid made this decision,
first down,
it really fell back into the locker room to get Correll to understand you just can't do this. If you want to be a championship team, you can't have guys be selfish. Being selfish means you sleep through your alarm, you don't make meetings, you miss practices. That's part of the problems with the Redskins. When you've got a Flemister and you've got a Darryl Russell that missed practice, doesn't matter what the record is.
But it doesn't. There is no one exempt on this Philadelphia team, and that's the way it has to be.
Shouldn't be anybody exempt anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, we saw Bill Belichick a couple weeks ago with Bethel Johnson, who's star rookie wide receiver. Sat him down, didn't practice well.
Staley is back in. McNabb on the fake. Little half roll, throws to Thrash. Picks up a couple, knocked out of bounds. That's one of the reasons people really like Andy Reid. He is extremely consistent. And since he took over this program, he has done a tremendous job. He's gotten them to the last 2 NFC championships. He's got a chance to go 13-3 here. He would finish first in the NFC East, his 3rd straight division title.
Don't you love talking to him? When you sit down with him, you're talking to a real person. Now, he just sits there and he smiles. He's like Donovan McNabb. When Donovan sits down, he's smiling. Andy Reid smiling.
McNabb hit from behind. Reagan Upshaw got a piece of him to force the incompletion.
And that time the Redskins brought a little bit more pressure on Donovan McNabb.
Here's your 3rd and long again.
I know. Well, it's, you know, eight's long. See, you never played quarterback.
No,
I'll grant I wasn't a punter.
No kidding.
All right.
That isn't even an issue anymore. But, you know, you've got to know the difference between 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 10.
I think you have to go after. If you take a look at tonight, they're 5 of 7, 71%. They're 23rd in the league just in 3rd down conversions overall. I think you have to come after them. You can't just play zone and expect Donovan McNabb to throw an incompletion.
4 wide receivers, 4-man rush. And McNabb throws a strike this time to Greg Lewis.
Hello. It's too easy.
Boy, it is.
It's just too easy allowing him to drop back in the pocket and be able to throw into the really soft zones of the defense.
John, you got 4 guys rushing him, and one of them is LeVar Arrington on the left-hand side, who's not even getting off the line of scrimmage. I mean, look at the time he has, and look at the lane he has to throw in. This is easy. This is like 7-on-7 on a Thursday afternoon. Here my guys are open. Let me throw it to him.
I know we're all tired, but you just called him John.
John who?
It's okay. My dad called me John for years.
That's his middle name.
Buckhalter on the little swing inside the 5. Dives. Touchdown.
Now, we have some very interesting celebrations from Freddie Mitchell and Donovan McNabb and Correll Buckhalter. Does he get in? Here's the question. Remember, he only has to cross that line. Is his foot out of bounds? No. Does he get it? Absolutely.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's a well done right there. There's an effort.
Yeah, the guy wants a touchdown. He got it.
He got it.
And we have seen that tonight from the Eagles, that extra effort that has gotten them first downs and, in this case, a touchdown. The reliable David Akers for the point after. And so far, the Eagles have hung 28 points on the Redskins.
And the time of possession on that drive is 6 minutes and 44 seconds. That's unbelievable.
28-7, back to FedEx Field after this.
Congratulations! You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job.
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest Airlines Internet specials for just $39 to $99 when you purchase by January 19th, only at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
These people did something smart. They went to the 25th annual Toyotathon, the year's biggest sales event. They saw this huge event has the best year-end values, the most dependable and best lineup of SUVs ever. What a smart choice to get 4Runner. J.D. Power ranked it the most dependable midsize SUV in its class. Yes, they know Toyotathon is the smart time to buy. Hurry to Toyotathon's 25th anniversary. The year's biggest sales event is going on at your Toyota dealer now.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
This ESPN NFL special brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. The all-new Toyota Tundra Double Cab. Not just big, life-sized. And Heineken. It's all about the beer. Heineken.
And that's the beautiful and pricey Georgetown section of this great city.
Pricey?
Oh, very pricey.
Oh, very pricey.
Pigs can't live there.
Beverly Hills East.
28-7. Redskins ready to get the ball. Morton from the 6. The Eagles, who have had great special teams all year long, let Morton get to the outside. Now he's corralled at the 28-yard line. A saving tackle by Quentin Michael. 8:06 to go, third quarter. Eagles on top.
Now, I can handle this. When Mom's away, Dad will play.
Heads up!
A little less risk, Mike.
Got it.
Guys, meet the family.
What's up, boys?
Steve Martin.
So, Dylan, know any good restaurants?
Cheaper by the dozen. Rated PG. Now playing only in theaters.
Time's running out in the year 2003.
So in this edition of DirecTV Customer News, we're going to show you how to save time during the busy holiday season.
With instant non-stop holiday music for your next party.
And details on how DirecTV helps you avoid the mad rush at the mall.
All this plus free concerts and a special interview with one of the stars of X-Men 2.
It's all on DirecTV Customer News, playing around the clock all month on Channel 201. See you there.
DirecTV Freeview Events presents the legendary Allman Brothers Band. Experience jam and blues rock at its finest. Enjoy time-honored classics and exciting new songs as they perform at New York's historic Beacon Theater. The Allman Brothers Band. Free every day in December on DirecTV Channel 103. Look for their acclaimed new CD and DVD on sale now.
28-7 Eagles over the Redskins. 8:06 to go, third quarter. Washington takes over at its own 29-yard line. In this beautiful palace built by Jack Kent Cook, the team purchased from him by Daniel Snyder.
What a great place to do a game from there. Right here.
Great booth.
Is terrific.
Hasselbeck wants the screen to Cartwright. Nowhere to go. Cartwright is just swallowed up.
The screen worked the last time the Redskins had the ball. It was not going to work that time. Darwin Walker was not going to allow it to happen.
Well, what a great play he makes, Joe. Darwin Walker, number 97, reads screen and watch him go down the line of scrimmage and make the play. One-handed, it takes him down.
That's where you send three guys after the quarterback. One man becomes a policeman.
Hasselbeck dumps it to Cartwright. Cartwright out to the 37. Let's go to Susie.
Well, what we're seeing from the Eagles tonight is urgency. Brian Dawkins told us the urgency level is tremendous. As a team, as a defense, they have to get it done because you never know who's going to be here next year. And the young guys, they have to understand the passion that the veterans are playing with, how much this means and how much they've been through. 2 NFC championship losses. And he wants Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor to have something on their fingers in case one or both is not back next year.
This will be a first down for the Redskins as Morton gets the call. Rock Cartwright on the sideline. He is injured. And Susie, that's just the way this league has gotten with guys moving in and out as free agents this year, Joe.
Got some unrestricted ones. You see Champ Bailey and Troy Vincent. Of course, Troy not playing here. Warren Sapp, if you're looking for inside pressure, maybe he could be a Redskin. Duce Staley certainly could be a Redskin. We talked to LeVar Arrington about that. How would you like to have it? The Redskins need a tackle and a running back at least. Charles Woodson, he sort of made it quite public. He didn't want to hang around out in Oakland very much anymore.
Hasselbeck, the quick drop immediately goes to Gardner, and Gardner's planted by Brian Dawkins.
See, you got a couple other situations. They're the unrestricted free agents, but now then you take a look at the quarterbacks. For example, Anthony Wright, who we'll see tomorrow in Baltimore, is a free agent. Mark Brunell out of Jacksonville will be on the market, not as a free agent. And, of course, Kurt Warner wants to play in St. Louis. And I don't think Champ Bailey's going to leave here. I think, you know, they may slap a franchise tag on him. He's already turned down $55 million. And since LeVar Arrington has redone his deal, maybe there's some cap room.
I know what Champ's going through. I had the same problem.
How did you feel?
I turned it down. Hey, you have to do with good conscience.
Yeah, but that was a 200-year contract. Hasselbeck will try to run for it. Midfield pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. And Brown, who was starting for the injured Troy Vincent, got there and gave him a push.
Paul, did he make it?
I'd say Hasselbeck?
Yep.
Well, the guy's got to tell it right there because that's where the marker is. I mean, if they don't see that. Hasselbeck, this is a nice run.
And this is the thing that that Tim Hasselbeck can do that Patrick Ramsey cannot. So you've got 2 different types of quarterbacks. You've got one that's a little bit more mobile, and the other one who really didn't have the benefit of the changes that the offenses have made. The Redskin offense has given their quarterback an opportunity to get the ball out of his hand quicker when pressure comes. Patrick Ramsey was sort of like the experiment in the beginning, trying to make Steve Spurrier's initial offense work.
Well, there were a lot of times he became the subject of an experiment because he was hit so many times. First down Skins as they have advanced to the Eagles 44. Cartwright back in the ball game after being hurt earlier. Hasselbeck trying to get out of the way, and he can't. He is sacked by Sam Rayburn, his second sack of the year for the rookie from Tulsa.
I'll tell you what I really like about this Philadelphia defensive line. Now, you talk about a bunch of guys that are hurt, but watch these guys. There's no quit. They get upfield. Sam Rayburn, that time, he makes a dive. Look at this guy. You're showing agility here. He goes at his feet, knocks him down. That's a sack. But the rest of that defensive line, there's no stopping these guys. Indy Kalu, number 94, had his helmet knocked off, but yet he kept on coming.
And, of course, Indy Kalu is filling in for the moved-on Hugh Douglas, who's down in Jacksonville.
Here they come. Whoa, come on. No. Movement by the offense.
Well, you were talking about
offense. Number 87, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That is so inexcusable in my mind. If you're Rod Gardner and you're a wide receiver, the only thing you need to do is look at the football. That's all. When the football moves, you move. You don't have to hear things.
Paul, you mentioned the defensive line. Listen to the guys they have on injured reserve. Derek Burgess, rookie Jamal Green, Hollis Thomas, and Paul Grassmanis. That wouldn't be a bad front four, and they're all on IR. What a rotation they would have.
That's what the Philadelphia Eagles really love to do is the rotation.
Here comes the blitz. Hasselbeck hit just as he unloaded. Cole's got it at the 40. He was drilled but hung on. Sheldon Brown with a solid hit, but it's a gain of 16.
Tim Hasselbeck is one tough little quarterback. He's not a big guy. He's around 6'1". Watch, here comes the blitz from the outside. He does a good job of hanging in there. Lito Shepherd almost gets to him, almost gets the pop on him, and Sheldon Brown can't quite get to Coles either. I mean, when Lavernius Coles touches the football for the Redskins, good things happen.
He has been a great pickup as they raided the Jets for 4 quality players this year. Hasselbeck to the shotgun. Here comes another blitz. And over the middle, incomplete. Morton couldn't hold that one.
Boy, Michael Lewis, what an outstanding play. He is a strong safety. Chad Morton is coming across the middle, and Hasselbeck thinks he's got him open. Not so. Michael Lewis, 32.
Of course, Bobby Taylor doing a good job of shutting down Lavernius Coles also, Paul.
That's why he didn't replace and throw the ball downfield. He had to dump it off. 4th down, they're going to go for it.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Rapidly moving third quarter, only 3:12 left. The Redskins facing a 4th and 5. Down by 3 touchdowns and a 5-10 record. The old ball coach says it's time to pull out all the stops. Corner blitz. Hasselbeck runs away from pressure. Throwing on the run off the fingertips of McCants. Oh, that would have been huge.
Oh, I'll tell you, Hasselbeck, you know, when a guy does this, this is what I get so upset with this. Here's a quarterback running for his life, makes such a great play, and a guy like McCants downfield, you've got to catch this ball. He doesn't.
Aren't you tired of frozen dinners?
Make it Campbell's instead.
Thanks. Chunky chicken corn chowder now has more chicken.
And who taught you how to pick a melon?
This woman did a smart thing. She went to the 25th annual Toyotathon, the year's biggest sales event. So did he. They came for the best selection and great year-end values, featuring the legendary Camry, the #1 selling car in America, the all-new Solara, and Corolla. J.D. Power named it the most dependable compact car. Yes, Toyotathon is the smart time to buy. Hurry to Toyotathon's 25th anniversary. The year's biggest sales event is going on at your Toyota dealer now.
Jeff Smoker and the Spartans air it out against the tough Blackshirt defense of Nebraska. The MasterCard Alamo Bowl, Michigan State, Nebraska, Monday at 9 Eastern. It's all part of Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN.
Eagles 28-7 as the Redskins have just turned it over on downs.
We saw McCants not quite make the play, but he did a good read. That's the corner, Lito Shepherd. He's going to come on a blitz. Now, when you see a corner come on a blitz, as a wide receiver, you run what's called a blitz breakoff. You cut your route down. You saw the signal. Tim Hasselbeck just flat missed it. Now he has to scramble and run around for his life. McCants just can't quite get his hands on it, but he got the read. And those are the adjustments that were not a part of the Redskin offense through the first 8 weeks, where the wide receivers will run quick slants when they see corners and safeties blitz.
And missed opportunities like that are the reasons you have a 5-10 record. Buckhalter hit in the backfield, may lose a yard, as Lionel Dalton got penetration from that Redskins front wall.
You know, the thing about this when you watch a game like this with a guy like Donovan McNabb, okay, we're going to try and shut your run down. Now you got to put what portion do you want? Now you put the ball in the hands of Donovan McNabb. You want to do that?
The big guy, well, that's the problem. You can shut down the running backs, but Donovan McNabb coming into tonight had 339 yards rushing. I mean, you may be able to stop the three-headed monster, but you can't stop that fourth part.
McNabb back to throw, floats it for Pinkston, knocked away. Good play by Champ Bailey, the Pro Bowler, stayed right with him.
I think to me, Champ Bailey is 1 or 2 in the National Football League. He can do everything. Great arms, great speed, was a terrific athlete in school. I think we're going to see another one tomorrow night that's just like him. Chris McAllister, another Pro Bowler. Both of these guys, top 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, however you want to put it.
4, 5.
1, 2, 3.
You would think for the Redskins' future, Champ Bailey being a free agent, that since they have done Arrington's deal, they will find a way to keep him.
They'd like to.
3rd and long for the Eagles. And too high for Freddie Mitchell, who had a step.
Freddie Mitchell was wide open. Not when I'm saying he was wide open, because there was just no way that he could not catch his ball if it's in his hands.
That time the Redskins brought pressure, and the Eagles' offensive line, who we really haven't talked about a whole lot, because I think they've done such an outstanding job. They've almost become anonymous. Really did a terrific job of protecting Donovan.
First time the Eagles have gone 3 and out all night, and now Chad Morton back to take the punt from Dirk Johnson. Morton from the 15. Oh. Nailed as he got to the 26, and there's a flag down back on the other side of the 50, an 11-yard return after a 46-yard punt.
Holding on the Redskins.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 45, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
John Simon called for the hold. That'll cost the Redskins. They're already down 21.
Tuesday, 10/9 Central.
Roy is working deep covered. It is our job to watch his back.
The man with the most to lose.
Do I know you?
Is the man who works both sides of the law. A new line of fire, ABC Tuesday, 10/9 Central. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rock and roll all night with Kiss Symphony, a live 4 in concert, playing on DirecTV pay-per-view all this month. See them like you've never seen them before, performing their hits with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. And included with the pay-per-view is your very own Kiss Symphony DVD shipped directly to you. Order Kiss Symphony, a live 4 in concert on DirecTV pay-per-view on Channel 101 all month long, and receive the Kiss Symphony DVD for free.
It's the best wrestling on pay-per-view today. TNA, total non-stop action wrestling. And now, you can witness the moments that made TNA wrestling the Wednesday night phenomenon. Witness the carnage firsthand on the best of TNA wrestling this month on pay-per-view.
The DirecTV Preview Series presents what some consider to be the hottest band in the world today, Pearl Jam. This preview concert was captured live from Madison Square Garden, and now you have a front row seat to experience how this incredible band was meant to be seen. Pearl Jam, every day in December on Channel 103. Pick up their new CD and DVD today.
Eagles with the third quarter lead over the Redskins, 28-7, only 2:03 to go third period, and the Skins backed up to their 8-yard line after the holding call on the punt return. Tim Hasselbeck will have to start from there. Rock Cartwright will get the carry and is spun down shy of the 10-yard line. Jerome McDougal, a rookie out of Miami, was in on the stop.
You know, Mike, talking to Brian Dawkins yesterday, the one thing he said, when you have all these guys interchanging, the defensive linemen, corners, everyone, he says, as long as each guy has a gap, get in that gap and stay in that gap, we will have no problems. But it's when people start to freelance or they don't play the defense's call. He said all 11 of us have to play that defense exactly the way it's called.
Well, certainly they haven't done a good job against the run because of all those injuries. This one's dumped underneath the McCants, and Darnarian McCants lost his helmet as he got across to 20. Dawkins and Nate Wayne were there, and you don't want to be playing without a helmet when Brian Dawkins is in the vicinity.
Well, it's almost like, hey, what are you doing catching the ball around us? You're going to pay a price for it. Here comes the stop. There's the helmets. There goes the helmet. Now it's like, listen, don't you dare think about going any further.
First there was 1 blade, then 2, then 3. But 4 blades? Give me a break, right? Wrong. The new Schick Quattro has the power of 4 blades and 2 conditioning strips, which makes Quattro unlike any other razor. And those 4 blades give you an incredibly close, smooth shave. So your 5 o'clock shadow shows up late. 4 blades. Where will it stop? Here. Schick Quattro, the power of 4.
Hi, I'm Kevin Frazier. Join me as I count down the ESPN 100. Everyone and everything that mattered most in sports in 2003. I'm innocent.
Again, it's another save.
ESPN 100, Monday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
1:07 to go, third quarter. Eagles on top 28-7. Good news for the Skins is Darnarian McCants, who was injured on that last catch after he lost his hard hat. Spent a lot of time on his back, is up and on the sideline.
Look, he got popped in the nose.
1st and 10 Washington in the zone 22. Nice fake by Hasselbeck. Completes that to Byron Chamberlain, the former Viking. Donovan McNabb has accounted for 4 touchdowns tonight. 3 passing, 1 running. And has been absolutely superb against the Redskin defense that has been more than generous with its tackling.
They are not a very good tackling unit. Matter of fact, they're not a very good disciplined defensive football unit. And Donovan McNabb has sure showed how and why.
Hasselbeck straight back. And once again, it's Lavernius Coles up to the 38-yard line. Lavernius Coles having a big night tonight. As we will reach the end of the third quarter at FedEx Field, the Redskins trying to get back in this game, down 28-7.
Winter X Games 8 coming in January, live for the first time on ESPN.
Mount up. We got the call.
SWAT, the DVD you've been waiting for, is finally hitting the streets, armed with tons of special features and action-packed firepower.
Tell Daddy how you want it.
SWAT.
Nervous?
If I were, I wouldn't tell you.
Buy it Tuesday on special edition DVD.
Wrangler 5-star premium quality denim. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
The guys in our truck get a tremendous view of this broadcast because we're doing it in ESPN high definition. Remarkable clarity in that center monitor. Tomorrow night, you can see it in HD as we'll be in Baltimore to bring you the Steelers and the Ravens. ESPN HD now available nationwide. Just click on to ESPN.com and see the entire ESPN HD schedule.
You know something, there aren't a lot of defensive players that I think people will come to the stadium to watch. But in Baltimore, they have one in Ray Lewis. I mean, if you have a chance to come and see Ray Lewis play the defensive side of the football, and the added bonus is what Jamal Lewis has an opportunity to do, tomorrow night's game is one of those places you just have to be.
Well, I like what Bill Cowher said about him. That Ray Lewis is just in a class by himself. It's the intangibles that this guy brings to his football team.
Holds everybody accountable, right?
Oh,
everybody accountable around him.
It's his defense.
And he's made guys like Jamal Lewis better players because of it. Redskins first down at their own 37, desperately needing a score to get back in this game. Hasselbeck throws too high, tipped in the air, up for grabs. Patrick Johnson couldn't hold it. Here's the playoff picture up to date in the NFC. The Rams right now hold home field advantage. If Philadelphia wins tonight, St. Louis will have to win tomorrow to clinch home field. And you can just imagine how many people are anxious to go play the Rams in St. Louis. Minnesota can clinch the division with a win or a Green Bay loss tomorrow. Green Bay gets in the playoffs with a win or a Dallas win. Seattle won today. They are holding their breath, hoping to get in at 10-6. Hasselbeck, Lavernius Coles across midfield to the 49.
You know, and Seattle's got to be looking at themselves and saying, if we could have won just a road game. I mean, they lose to Baltimore on the road 44-41 when they're up by 17 points in that game. And you can cite so many instances where the Seahawks had them get away from them.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 84. The offense got a first down. It will be 1st and 10 after a 15-yard penalty.
Patrick Johnson. Who, me? Yeah, you.
And Lavernius Coles has just become the first NFL wide receiver ever to have 1,200 yards in back-to-back seasons with 2 different teams. Did it with the Jets a year ago. Does it with the Redskins tonight, and he has been worth every penny they gave him as a free agent. He has made a big difference in Steve Spurrier's offense. Hasselbeck will take off. Takes a vicious shot from Mike Reese.
Mike Reese may not be Carlos Emmons, and Tim Hasselbeck's got to be thankful. Reese weighs 220. Emmons weighed 250.
You know the only problem with this whole thing here? Hasselbeck had no way to slide. He had no place to go except forward. Take a look at him. He's going to step up in now. Now he's running with the ball. Look at here. Right here. He's trying to figure out a place to slide. He has no place to.
There's always a place to hide.
Yeah, about 3 yards back he should have.
Always a place to hide.
Cartwright does a little fancy stepping of his own. Michael Lewis makes the stop on this one. Well, we showed you the NFC playoff race. The AFC, New England and Kansas City have the first round byes. New England has home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the AFC. Indianapolis can clinch the division with a win or a Tennessee loss tomorrow. Tennessee can clinch the division if Indianapolis loses and they win. Denver is in. Baltimore needs to win tomorrow night if Cincinnati wins during the day.
But if Cincinnati loses, Baltimore's automatically in, and they still have to go get 2,000 yards.
Exactly.
Jamal Lewis.
And they will do that. Hasselbeck under pressure from behind. Nowhere to go, and he's buried by Brandon Whiting. Couldn't find anybody,
Michael,
Paul.
And when I tell you about defensive linemen that don't quit, here's another classic example of it. Brandon Whiting, number 98. Watch where he comes from. The other side of the field, and he chases Hasselbeck down. His chances any other time to get him are slim and none.
Well, you saw Rock Cartwright try and go at his ankles. That didn't work out very well. And one of the things that Andy Reid talked about, he said he needed his defensive linemen to play on the other side of the ball. That's what they've done tonight.
Second sack of the season for Whiting. Hasselbeck trying to get the first down, nearly threw an interception at the 40. He threw it right into the hands of Bobby Taylor, who couldn't hold it.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I've been waiting all night for somebody to step in front of Lavernius Coles, because basically 95% of the passes go to him. That time, Bobby Taylor read it perfectly, jumped in front, and missed the ball.
Bobby Taylor is not going to get an easier shot at an interception. I mean, he only has one this year. Of course, he's one of those guys that didn't play the first time against the Redskins.
3rd and 13 for Washington.
That one was coming in with a handle on it.
4-man rush. Hasselbeck out in the flat. That's nowhere near a first down to Cliff Russell. And he's taken down by Lito Shepard.
When you're going 4 downs with every play, that is really not too bad a play.
No.
Now, can I finish?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm going to move over here by Michael so I can talk to Michael for a little bit.
Go ahead.
But that is not a bad play because we know that they're going to go on 4th down every time.
We knew that?
Yes. Oh, come on. What are you, crazy? They have to. But to pick up 7 or 8 yards on that play is okay.
Yes, I am.
Christmas must be over.
We're done with Christmas, pal.
4th and 6 for Washington.
Cover Lavernius Coles.
Here comes the blitz.
The defense is offside.
Johnson can't hold it. Now we'll check the penalty.
Well, if they let the play go, it's defense offside.
It is. It's going to be offside against the defense.
And that will make it 4th and 1.
Offside. Defense. Left hand. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
All right, Paul, do you run it now? I mean, 4th and 1. Do you run it or do you do what the old ball coach does most of the time?
Don't you love this? Here he is, a quarterback, and he's asking me.
Well, I'm looking for input. I'm looking for a little insight.
Certainly you run it.
Okay. I don't think so.
I said that with conviction, didn't I?
Yes, you did. I'd throw it.
You got the big guys back there.
Yeah. If you want to call it 220 and 240.
2 wide receivers. Cartwright is the deep man. And Hasselbeck to throw against the blitz. Coles incomplete, knocked away by Sheldon Brown, who had great position on the Redskins' best receiver.
Sheldon Brown is upset with himself, but it's the best thing that can ever happen to him because they get the ball back up here on about the 40-yard line. So that was the best thing that happened, is dropping this ball. Sheldon, don't be upset. Be happy.
I don't want to get married to a boy. Be all weird. Their parents start crying in the aisle, and they make a big scene, and then there'd be a river of cries right in the middle of the aisle, and everybody would start crying. I just prefer a wedding dress.
There's glory for the individuals who come together for a common goal. You tame the elusive beast of time and space, bringing together offices from every corner of the globe, working in real time, as if shoulder to shoulder. You have the new Microsoft Office system. Go team.
This ESPN NFL special brought to you by John Hancock. Insurance for the unexpected, investments for the opportunities. And Microsoft, your potential, our passion.
FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, home of the Redskins, and right now, home of the potential NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles because they're up 28-7.
I knew Chief when he had a dark mustache. Our Indian's been around a long time.
Donovan McNabb goes back to work and throws this one wide of Thrash out of bounds. There's the flag down. We'll check in with Susie.
Well, Mike, the Redskins have certainly won the free agent game in the offseason, but it hasn't exactly translated onto the field. So LeVar Arrington has a suggestion. He says this time around, let's go with role players, blue-collar guys, hardcore assassins. He said, we have enough stars, we have enough big-time leaders. Let's get the guys who are hungry. He says, what Dan Snyder has done is admirable. It is commendable, but, you know, this way will cost him a lot less, too.
Well, Susie, ever since Daniel Snyder has owned the team, they have gone after big names. Sometimes it's worked, other times it's blown up in their face.
Too much instability. What the Redskins have to do is they have to decide on a core group of players and then start to build around. And they have to do the same thing with the coaching staff. Bring in a group of guys.
Well, here's the million-dollar man, LeVar Arrington, who just signed a new contract.
You know,
number 56. You see him here. Ooh, Richie blocks him. He said, if you're going to come at me, you better send 2 or 3 guys. Well, they sent 2 there. He didn't get around. But I'll tell you, Runyon has done a great job on him this evening. That's like a throwaway.
Well, he's given up 100 pounds to John Runyon, who is also one of the toughest guys around. And now Fred Smoot.
See, I think if you're going to have a LeVar Arrington,
is in the middle of something.
If you're going to have a LeVar Arrington be a pressure kind of a player for you, you have to have other people taking up the blocks that are supposed to be his, so you can let him be a free runner.
Arrington with his 3rd straight Pro Bowl, and that puts him in some exclusive company, 3 in his first 4 years. Junior, Ray, Brian, and now LeVar. It'd be nice to be on that list.
How about the job Dick Duran's done in Chicago? The Bears buried Fredette early, came back, played really strong here in the last month and a half.
Really brought them back. Buckhalter diving for a first down, cut down by Matt Bowen. If you joined us late, Brian Westbrook injured early in this game. So the Eagles, it appears, are not going to go into the playoffs healthy with that 3-headed monster at tailback.
Holding.
This play will come back.
Offense, number 89, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Chad Lewis, the tight end.
Mike, the other thing about Brian Westbrook being hurt is you lose your punt returner. And, you know, you gave up a Brian Mitchell. And I think, you know, Brian's at the end of his career. So Brian Westbrook is an upgrade for him, a younger guy. But here's a guy who's got 2 returns for touchdowns.
Right.
Got 4 returns, 4 receiving, 7 rushing, and now he's unavailable. So it affects your special teams as well as your offense.
Now you go to James Thrash, who's a kick return guy. Now he's going to be the punt return guy. Plus, he's a starting wide receiver. So you're asking Thrash to do an awful lot of things.
Same thing you're asking Ike Reese to do on the other side of the ball for the Eagles.
So they have gotten very thin with all of these injuries. Now Duce Staley dragged down in the backfield. Good play by Jesse Armstead, another former Pro Bowl linebacker.
Well, you know, at a score of 28-7, you would like to get some of your people off the field. But when you look at the 3 running backs, 3-headed monster, whatever you want to call it, Westbrook's out. So all you really do have is two guys. They're all considered starters.
Hey, Duce wanted the work.
Yeah, oh, he's going to get it. Tonight he's getting it. Duce Staley's getting it. Buckhalter's getting it. And there's only one fullback on this team, and that's John Ritchie.
Andy Reid with a chance to go 12-4 on the year, win the division again. McNabb on the run, got a great block. McNabb continuing to try to get that first down, reaches the Redskin 47-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards shy. Taken out by Franz, and Bruce Smith trying to chase the play just got unloaded on.
There's Bruce Smith. He's retiring after this game, and after this play, he's going to say, "Thank God I am." Bang! Oh, now that hurts.
John Wellborn just laying and waiting.
Bruce was honored at halftime. Jack Kemp was down on the field to do the introduction.
Oh, old teammates, and I mean old teammates.
Jack flew in from Vail.
Still looks pretty good, doesn't he?
Yeah, it does.
Who, Jack or Bruce?
Jack.
And Paul.
And Paul.
Jack and Bruce. And the Eagles will down this at the 15. 31-yard kick, 9 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the game. And what is undoubtedly the last game of a brilliant career for Bruce Smith.
Hi, I'm Kevin Frazier. Join me as I count down the ESPN 100. Everyone and everything that mattered most in sports in 2003.
I'm innocent.
Once again, it's another save.
ESPN 100, Monday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. One voice has captured the spirit of American rock. Bob Seger, Greatest Hits 2. 14 classic hits, plus 2 never-before-released new songs. Greatest Hits 2 features Bob Seger's best recordings. Order now through this exclusive TV offer and receive Bob Seger's Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2 for only $19.98. Bob Seger, the 2-disc, complete Greatest Hits collection. 30 classic tracks from Bob Seger.
including 3 never-before-released on any Bob Seger album. Bob Seger is the rock and roll original. To order both Bob Seger's greatest hits 1 and 2, call the number on your screen. Order now.
Time's running out in the year 2003.
So in this edition of DirecTV Customer News, we're going to show you how to save time during the busy holiday season.
With instant, non-stop holiday music for your next party.
And details on how DirecTV helps you avoid the mad rush at the mall.
All this plus free concerts and a special interview with one of the stars of X-Men 2.
It's all on DirecTV Customer News, playing around the clock all month on Channel 201. See you there.
Redskins take over at their own 16-yard line, but they're down 28-7 and running out of time. 9 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the game.
It'll be very interesting to see what the Redskins look like. Like I said, I believe that Coach Spurrier will be back next year.
What about his assistants?
I just think that they've got to make some changes. They need some people that are good teachers, that have NFL experience, and then start to build a core with them.
Tim Hasselbeck underneath for a short gain to Cartwright. You know, it's been a pretty good 6 weeks for the Hasselbeck family. First, Tim gets the chance to play quarterback for the Redskins, does very well as a starter. His wife, Elizabeth, who was on Survivor and became known across the nation for that, gets a job on The View as a talk show host.
And I watch it, and I love the show. I think the ladies do a fabulous job. Sometimes I'm sitting home watching The View, Paul.
You're not going to be on.
I know I'm not. I'm not trying to
not going to be on.
I'm just telling you, I watch it and I enjoy it. Can I watch something?
Cartwright. They must have canceled one of his soap operas. What happened?
It is a girly show.
It is not. See, that's where you're wrong. You ought to try that. There's a lot to be learned watching The View. I learned a lot from Star Jones. I have.
You
don't
are
look at me
scaring me to death.
Sometimes I have it on when I'm around the house.
He learned a lot from Popular Mechanics.
That's true.
Cartwright appears to have the first down.
The Eagles gave up to Kevin Barlow last week with the 49ers. 30 rushes, 154 yards. I mean, they've given up a lot of 100-yard games to some pretty good running backs, which is what they really have to look at in the playoffs. Amon Green, the Packers could possibly be there. Certainly Stephen Davis with the Panthers will be there. You look at all those guys that have had 100 yards. The only one, Kevin Barlow, with 154 yards, is the only one that was on a team that won. So they've given up a lot of yards to individuals, but they haven't lost football games.
But you don't think they can go into the playoffs, continue to give up that kind of yardage, and win against better teams, as Lavernius Coles drops this one. They've got to find a way to shut that down, don't they?
Yeah, they have to, because the reason they have to, because the reason every single team in the playoffs can run the football, except New England, and they're not going to face them unless they get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay, so every other team in the NFC especially, they all have running games. Now they're playing against a team tonight that doesn't have a running game.
But what I'm saying is I think the Eagles have the ability to make plays with their back seven, that even if somebody does get 100 yards on them, it's not going to hurt them. I think their offense right now is functioning as well as anybody in the league.
Hasselbeck hit as he throws and dropped by Johnson. And Hasselbeck helped up by Darwin Walker, the man who knocked him down, and there's a flag back.
The Eagles are going to be offside, so the Redskins are going to get a chance.
Defense, number 97, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Joe, you've already quoted Star Jones on what she thinks about the Eagles' rushing defense. Now, how about Jamal Lewis's chance of breaking the all-time NFL record? What does Star think about that?
Well, actually, Barbara Walters has a little input on that, and she thinks it's going to be very difficult.
Okay.
She thinks it'll be a real challenge because, obviously, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been very good in run defense. The important thing is I think that, for him to have a chance, that game's got to be fairly close tomorrow night.
Draw play. Cartwright struggles out to the 40. Lewis, of course, has had a magical season. He is already 5th all-time single season. He will have a chance to be only the 5th back ever to go over 2,000 yards.
What's amazing?
He wants to play the Cleveland Browns.
I was just going to say, what's amazing about
16 times.
1,900 yards, 500 of it has come against the Cleveland Browns in only 7 quarters. Now, I'm reading quotes that the Brown players don't think that he's pretty good, and that wasn't that big an accomplishment. Baloney. Guys, that's a pretty good job.
Hasselbeck against the blitz to Russell. Ooh. And Dawkins body slams it.
And that should be a penalty. That should be a 15-yard penalty. Now, it's what you do. It's no different, in my opinion, if you take a quarterback down and try and plant him. All right, you got him tackled. He's stopped, okay? Now, to me, that should be a 15-yard penalty. It's a bad job by the officials on that one.
WWF.
Oh, we got a penalty.
Yeah.
Except that field's not nearly as soft as that ring mat.
Came in a little bit late, the penalty did.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 76. 5-yard penalty, second down.
You know, Brian Dawkins really is not this kind of player. And you know, when you talk to him, I said, talking in a meeting, I was afraid of him. But the problem is, what he did, which is really dumb, is he brought the guy down on himself. I mean, if you're gonna throw somebody on the ground, make sure he hits the ground, not on your body.
Now, the other thing when we were talking to Brian Dawkins, he said the first year when they got beat by the Rams, they felt that okay, we got close. The second year, all they sort of played for was home field advantage.
Hasselbeck this time throws it right to Michael Lewis. He gets his 3rd interception of the year. And this will start a mass exodus from FedEx Field.
Being an architect of the street is understanding the neighborhood, looking at people, understanding what they do, and decide where the best place they could find an ATM would be. You have to immerse yourself into the street, who's going to use the machine and how and when and where. Why are they going? Where are they going? Going to get a haircut, going to soccer practice. We understand the impact of a left turn, of a right turn, traffic signals, of sun glare. I look at the fancy cars and the not so fancy cars, the types of suits and shoes that people wear, and how does the Bank of America fit the needs of that neighborhood? My name is Jose Delgado. I'm a banker, and I'm proud to be part of Bank of America. We have around 14,000 ATMs across the country. If we don't place ATMs in the right positions, we'll have done a disservice to the customer, and the customer appreciates that. At the end of the day, we've done our job providing them that world-class service. Money at their fingertips. That's a beautiful thing.
Bank of America. Higher standards.
This is the time of year when shopping gets really exciting. It's the after Christmas sale at Sears. Come in now and save big on fashions for the family. Find 50% off Christmas decorations and holiday home decor. Get 0% financing until January 2005 on all TVs over $499. And until July 2004 on all fitness equipment and treadmills over $399. Plus all fitness equipment and treadmills are on sale. All mechanics, tool sets, tool storage, and all tires are on sale. You don't want to miss a single moment of the after Christmas sale at Sears.
Get more of the good life.
Vince Young and Cedric Benson lead the high-powered Longhorn attack against Washington State. The Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, Washington State, Texas. Tuesday at 8. It's all part of Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN.
Only 5:52 to go in a 28-7 Eagles lead over the Redskins. The Skins are going to finish 5-11. The Eagles are going to be 12-4. Win their 3rd consecutive NFC East title and still have a shot at home field advantage. They will be rooting against the Rams tomorrow, who can wrap it up with a win. Detmer gives it off to Buckhalter. He is in for McNabb. Let's go to Susie.
Guys, the Eagles are at their best when they are loose and having fun. Donovan McNabb is the ringleader. Little thriller after his rushing TD. Freddie Mitchell, they call him the people's choice, not to be outdone. Those moves made it 21-0. And then Correll Buckhalter representing the running backs. He dove in and then the little slide. But the best reason to celebrate, it looks like they're going to have that bye. Little time to rest and rehabilitate. This is their 3rd game in 13 days.
Susie, there isn't one of those guys that can dance.
Okay, it's our 3rd and 6. What are they complaining
Yeah,
about?
but nobody's hit us yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Detmer rifles this complete for a gain of about 7 yards.
Coy Detmer, their backup quarterback, is in. But remember A.J. Feely from last year?
Oh, sure.
And the job he did for this Philadelphia Eagle team. Andy Reid was really shocked that no one came after A.J. Feely in the offseason. Now, Brad Childress, who is the offensive coordinator and has a great input into what the Eagles do on offense, even though Andy calls the plays. He's one of those guys they've talked about maybe getting an opportunity to be a head coach around the National Football League. I promise you, if he goes, A.J.'s going to have a shot going somewhere, and should.
He was so impressive coming into those circumstances last year. And the Eagles now just pounding it, trying to work on the clock. The first round bye cannot be understated in its importance, because since 1978, when they started the bye system, 42 of 50 teams were the #1 or #2 seeds and got the bye, and 21 of the 25 teams that won the Super Bowl were first or second seeds. That week off is not only to rest to get everybody, you know, a chance to get a little bit healthy, but injured guys have a chance to come back.
And also, you can change some things that you've done over 16 weeks, which makes it more difficult for coaches to defend against.
Buckhalter, first down and more inside the Redskins 30.
And there's a flag on this play.
That may be a face mask.
Looks like the Eagles are going to get to go home in front of their fans at the Link and be able to take on somebody in a couple of weeks.
Well, that hasn't necessarily been a good thing.
No, I mean, like I said, they're 5-3 at home and 6-1 on the road. As I started to say before,
personal foul, grasping the face mask, defense, number 54, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Jeremiah Trotter.
They talked about the first year getting close, getting beat by the Rams. The second year, they really focused on home field. And talking to Brian Dawkins, he didn't care. This year, they don't care what happens. Donovan McNabb also said, this is going to be our third chance. They remember the pain of those first 2 losses. And I believe that the pressure in the early part of the season was really on Donovan McNabb to try and sort of take them out by their bootstraps on his shoulders, and it was too much.
Well, then he had to go through all that stupid stuff with Rush Limbaugh and put up with all the media attention over that. It's nice to see that he has come back in the second half of the season and just played brilliantly. Duce Staley will go inside the 10. Let's check in with Susan.
Well, we talked to Donovan about the value of those 2 NFC championships, the experiences and the motivation, and he says they just don't want to fall short again. It's been impossible to get that out of their minds, but there is a concern because they're missing some of that quality leadership in the locker room. Special teams ace Brian Mitchell, he's in New York, and Hugh Douglas, who we know is watching these guys, is in Jacksonville. This is a young team, 15 true rookies or first-year players contributing. Playoffs, a whole different level of intensity. You can't stress how important leadership is.
No, you can't. Andy Reid knows it. Fortunately, he's gotten some of his leaders back, like Dawkins. Duce Staley, Harrington makes the tackle, and you can hear all the Eagle fans who are still sticking around FedEx Field yelling out Duce.
And you can't stress the importance of that bye. I mean, as much as we talk about it, and you show the numbers on the bye, but here is a team that really needs one. They have so many people injured on this football team. They've got a whole lot of guys who are on injured reserve, so they can't get those guys back. But they can get guys like Troy Vincent back. They got some guys that they need to rest. And now, if they lose Westbrook, they're going to go in there with 2 running backs.
Yeah, well, both of them can play. I want to go back to those 100-yard rushers a little bit, too, because with those, a lot of those, somebody has broken 1 or 2 big plays against them and really accounted for those 100 yards. It isn't like, you know, a guy's going to carry 50 times and rush for 100 yards. The other thing that they have going for them is I think they have an offense that can control the clock. We saw it tonight. It's a West Coast style of offense. It's a short passing game. Andy Reid knows he wants a lot of people to touch the football. He'll take his shots and try and make big plays. But basically, with Donovan pulling the trigger, and his athletic ability will be the key through the playoffs. He's going to carry this team now on his shoulders because of his legs and his ability to make plays with him.
Akers will come on to try a field goal. One question about the home field advantage. If the Rams win tomorrow, they have it throughout the playoffs. Can anyone beat them on turf at home?
They haven't yet. I mean, they certainly haven't in a couple of years.
We have reached the 2-minute warning officially at 1:59. It's 31-7.
Later on SportsCenter, the Pats and Eagles look to play postseason hosts. The Cats try to hang on to #1, and after collapsing in a memorial service, how serious is the boss's condition? SportsCenter, after the game, ESPN.
From the creators of Pride Fighting Championships, enter the next level of fighting. Bushido, the way of the warrior. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, taking on Team Japan. You've never seen fights like these. Also, the explosive power of Mirko Krokop. Bushido, playing this month on DirecTV pay-per-view. Whether it's the back nine, the backwoods, a big fish, a nice dish, some soccer flair, or huge air. Get the widest variety of sports in Sports Pack with over 25 specialty and regional sports networks. All for only $12 or less per month. Order now at DirecTV.com or call 1-800-DIRECTV.
DirecTV Freeview Events presents the legendary Allman Brothers Band. Experience jam and blues rock at its finest. Enjoy time-honored classics and exciting new songs as they perform at New York's historic Beacon Theater. The Allman Brothers Band. Free every day in December on DirecTV Channel 103. Look for their acclaimed new CD and DVD on sale now.
Donovan McNabb has overcome a miserable start to his season to win 10 of the last 11 for the Philadelphia Eagles. They have clinched the NFC East Championship for the 3rd time in a row. They will at least get a bye in the first round of the playoffs.
Mike, you talked about the Rush Limbaugh stuff. I thought Donovan McNabb handled all the problems and all the controversy around that with such great professionalism, and
sure did.
I thought he represented himself and everyone in such a fabulous way.
Well, the thing about when we talked about it, all these things that happened, and I asked him the other day, I said, what did you do? He said, I talked to my family. He said, and that's where I got everything. And he said that when I got back into the locker room, I realized that there were 53 guys on this football team, plus the coaching staff in the front office, that were behind Donovan McNabb. So I didn't worry about anything.
Well, he's a class act, always has been since he came out of Syracuse. And this kick will go out of the end zone, so the Redskins will start from the 20-yard line. We'll be back after this.
Can't taste my beer. I can't taste my beer.
I can't taste my beer.
I can't taste my beer!
I can't taste my beer.
I can't taste my beer! I can't taste my beer!
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling, Miller Lite. Good call.
New plant location? San Diego. San Diego. The ocean.
The sun.
The people.
A problem.
Problem?
Prices.
Big problem. Solution? Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
Good paper.
Best paper. Pittsburgh paper. Perfect. Pursue the potential Pittsburgh property pronto. Let's eat.
Nextel walkie-talkies get it done.
Okay, contestants, you have to make your way from Maine to California. Oh, without cash, checks, or credit cards. Bye-bye.
The Visa check card is accepted at millions of places across the country, which is why millions of people rely on it.
Let me borrow your bike.
No.
Lend me the bike.
No.
The Visa check card to get you in, out, and on your way.
Well, these three made it, but where's our other contestant?
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Who's Chad Brown? He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. So you gotta ask yourself, what's it like getting hit by a stick of dynamite? No! Stop playing, Chad.
Come on, Don.
SportsCenter is next. Carl Ravitch and John Anderson will bring you up to date on everything in sports. The road to the AFC Championship now goes through Foxborough. George Steinbrenner collapsed today. And picking the AFC and NFC champions. We will give you more information on ESPN.com. Redskins take over at their 20 with the new quarterback, Jabron Hamden, a rookie out of Indiana, a 7th-round draft choice who came up from the practice squad only 3 weeks ago. And Hamden throws out in the flat for a completion to his tight end, David Ware. And you have to wonder about the future now of Steve Spurrier, all these rumors swirling around. He says none of them are true. He intends to be back next year. Daniel Snyder says he wants him back as the coach of the Redskins.
And it'll be interesting to see just how many members of his staff come back. They want some changes on the coaching staff as far as the assistants go. Of course, that in Steve's contract is totally up to him. So if there are evaluations to be made, and I think in his case, it's good that he takes the time to get away without making any rash decisions.
Clock running. Hamden seeing the first action of his career. That one bobbled.
Are you going to play any golf with
and then drop?
I'll probably wind up playing some golf in the offseason with him. Yeah. Played a lot of great places up here. Over at Robert Trent, Raspberry Falls. A lot of good courses
Let's say goodbye one more time to Bruce Smith. It's his last game, and what a great magnificent career. And remember, this guy, when he came into the league 19 years ago, was 300 and some pounds.
Who was his first victim as a sack?
Tommy Kramer.
Oh, you're so good. You're so good, Paul. That mind of yours is like a steel trap.
Yeah, it's closed most of the time.
Ball came loose, and they say the Redskins got it back.
Hey, you know when you play 19 years and you go out on a loss, and it really is. He's had a brilliant career, Bruce Smith, but you just like to go out with a win.
Well, look at it this way. You're going to go out with a loss unless you win the Super Bowl.
That's right.
And they had 4 shots.
How about the 4 Super Bowls he went to as a part of the Buffalo Bills in consecutive years? Still, to me, that's an incredible feat.
One of the greatest runs in NFL history. Congratulations to the Eagles for their 3rd consecutive division championship, and Andy Reid has done it again. In his 5th year at Philadelphia, he has put himself among the elite of NFL head coaches, twice already named as the NFL Coach of the Year, and Donovan McNabb will lead them into the playoffs. The final score, 31-7 Eagles. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Susie Culver, our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick saying good night from FedEx Field in Landover. Join us tomorrow night from Baltimore. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. This is SportsCenter.
Tom Brady to Troy Brown. 3rd TD pass of the game for Tom Brady.
Christmas is